my heart beating, afraid to die. It's counting down to meet you one last time. I'm falling in your trap another night. I'm doing it again and again and again. I'm doing it again and again and again. I'm doing it again, doing it again, doing it. Turning back time. Can you hear the tic-tac inside my mind? I'm falling in your trap another night. It's counting down to meet you one last time. I'm falling in your trap another night. Turning back.
This is clearly unsettling, but you focus on the petty things, and I'm a fool for your subtlety. I'm attracted to the stranger things. I'm delusional and deranged, it seems. I'm falling underneath. Hello, filling the gaps of where you used to care. My mind's of the earth, but my heart's up in the you see burning bridges, feel the flame, we play with kerosene. Told you people stay away, they call us crazy. Isolated times, dilated. You're confined by your relativity. We're all filling the gaps from where you used to care. My mind's of the earth, but my heart's up in the air. Fuel the flame, we play with kerosene. You and I, we mix like water and gasoline. Fuel the flame, we play with kerosene. Fuel the flame, we play with kerosene. We play with kerosene. We play with kerosene. We play with kerosene. You and I, we mix like. You and I, we mix like. You and I, we mix like water and gasoline. I'm the storm that meets the moon. I'm the sun that will not move. Who you think you are? Who you think you
Welcome, one and all, to the RSC EU Season 11, the final stream of the week. We already had one on Wednesday, we had one yesterday, and the final one is tonight. 3 on the docket, as usual. Alongside me, Liquid Sight to join us for at least the first one, the Premier tier. It's a great one to start with, Liquid, and you mentioned it just before we came on. We haven't casted together for a while, and I'm looking forward to doing that once again.
Yeah, it's fantastic to be here once again. I've been very fortunate to be here all week. And I have not casted besides you. I feel humbled a little bit as you do this a lot more professionally for me. So I will take the second seat to you and we'll have a great time. I'm very excited to see how this Premier team comes out, as this seems to be basically their second series. I casted a great game yesterday between Baller Ikari, who was the fan favorite, clearly. And this time we've got Panthera Esports and Shaman Esports. There was I looked at the players and they seem fairly even matched just on paper, but as we saw yesterday, that doesn't mean anything until they are on the pitch.
Oh, without doubt. And mentioning that they have only played one series already this season because, of course, Prem only play one match a week, and that was before the Christmas break. So they've been stewing for 2 weeks now, doing whatever it is that Premier players do, hopefully keeping warm, training, keeping up that edge. And both these teams, Pantera and Shaman, both won their opening series before the break 3-1. Pantera was on stream, and I actually casted that one, so I have a good idea of what they're capable of, especially. The stats are, kind of middling, of course. They've only played one series. Pantera just slightly edge out Shaman in that. They're only a goal above them. So they're very evenly matched already at the beginning of this season. some just little information tidbits, some interesting bits for this this series between the players. King Jays is playing against his former franchise in Charmin. He plays for Pantera Esports alongside Azza and Blackstrike, and they finished dead last with 0 series wins last season. So this is a very important match for King Jays to win, I feel, because clearly it shows that he's on the grass is greener side and he's moving up in the world of RSC. And Haven's returning season, I believe he'd last played in Season 8 after winning Season 7 Elite. So he's been out for a while, as far as I'm aware, coming back now into RSC Season 11 at the Premier level. And he's been a standout performer alongside Blackstrike on the other side of Pantera. So I'm expected to see those two to be the main guys on this field. Of course, as I said, they've only played one series. It's hard to gauge whether or not they're going to be the best players. But from what we've seen so far, those are the ones to look out for. And I'm looking out for them to be just as good as they were in their first series of the season.
So this is going to be a bit of a grudge match, clearly.
Potentially. For King Jays, of course, it's a completely different roster to the one that Shaman had last season. But this is a step up for King Jays. He's got new teammates. He wants to be even better, and they've started well. But something's got to give at this point. It could either be a win or a loss for either side, or it could end up being a draw. To much to the chagrin of our producer Morris Guy in the background. He's wanting a great night for this stream, for everything to go well, and a draw would just put that little black mark on it, and I don't think he'd like that. So I'm in the same mind. I think Pantera probably take this one. It will be a narrow win in my mind, especially because of the stats and such similarities between the players and the teams, what they're capable of. So I'm looking forward to it, but I do think Pantera just slightly edge this one.
It was actually very interesting to see on the Glacius division, every matchup that there was before the Christmas break there, the series was a 3-1 victory. So there was a very distinct even split that every team that won by 3. So there was no sweeps. Now, yesterday there was a sweep in the Ignis division with the team that I casted yesterday. So, I'm always excited for the 3-1. The 4-0 is usually a nail biter, and the 2-2, depending on how it goes, is can either go one way or the other.
It certainly can, as is the nature of a draw. It shows that neither team could give or take, and they were completely even, broken, not apart, but completely stuck together. And hopefully we don't see that for Morris Guy's sake, if nothing else, but just for the sake of the competitive nature of the league. Both 3-1 in their opening series of the season, looking to continue that form as we are kicked off with game 1 of 4. 20 seconds in, it's already quite neutral, but a 1-2 link up between Haven and Brooke through the midfield. Well cut out by King Jays. Now with time on the ball himself, fakes it out as it is there, but Haven to deny. And already both sides seeing a little bit of the ball, a little bit of daylight, but still no way through just yet.
Wow, that was a great 30 seconds. It's been just non-stop action. There's an open net the other way, and Brooke makes no mistake of putting that on target. I don't know what happened here. If third man dove in, oh yeah, as Azza had no one back and went up early, tried to force the play. Unfortunately, he didn't have any support as everyone was a little bit slow to get back, and there was no mistake putting that ball on net.
I can understand that overcommittal by the third man there. Pablo didn't look like he was in the best position to get back to that ball, but he did manage to do so. Testament to his ability as Blackstrike attempts some crazy looking pre-flip. Try and slide that under the chassis of his Dominus, try to get a shot on target. Didn't quite work out as the first minute passes. Brooke with control through the corner. Pablo is there, both miss. It's left to Haven and Azza. He's not got the greatest jump, can't control the ball, but still in the presence of mind to keep the ball in the corner. Managed to hold on to it for just a moment. And it's easy enough for Blackstrike to take it away. Brooke across the field to Haven. They're keeping the ball high, making sure to not put it on the ground too much. Leave some space to work with for both sides, and it ends up being another midfield controlled play. At this time it was on the ground. Haven and Pablo link up to finish a crate doubler.
There, we talked about at the start of this that this might be a grudge match, and I have seen both teams hunt the goalie or last defender all the way into the net. So I think there's a little bit more at stake on this game, and just everyone's pride in a win.
Maybe the case, of course. These Prem level players, a lot of them know each other, scrim together a lot. There might be some extra edge there. It's mostly for King Jays, of course, playing his former franchise, as already posited. Don't know how much love is lost. They'll clearly want to be better than them. So far, it's not quite working out. It's Haven with another chance to try and get it past 3, but only 1 is made. It's a triple commit. Ends up coming through to keep it out. Keep this lead respectable, or this deficit respectable even, for Pantera's sake. It's back through the midfield we go. Black Strike off the sidewall, now through the corner. Not much to his name, but does manage to barrel it through at least one. Burke in the right position, and that's something to notice Shaman doing quite a bit. Even if they get beaten at first time of asking, they almost always have someone just behind to make that crucial last second save.
You know, and Haven was not able to make a bit of a play there. He lost control on the first touch. Bad pass, bad touch there by Pablo Bar. I should really read the names a little bit ahead of time. But Pablo Bar is just in there accosting. Blackstrike and Haven have a dangerous play. Blackstrike comes away with the ball and the boost. So they are in good position. Tried to pinch out, not able to get a big one. Here's a setup for Haven. Unfortunately, too much of a big hit off the first one, as Bruke is going to lead it into the corner and try and take control all the way to the midfield. Blackstrike says no. Azza has it on the ground, takes the corner boost. King Jr. Kings has to get up a little bit early. He's going to throw it back as Azza tries to move this into the middle, unable to get it past the defense as they are showing themselves strong. Kings got a little bit of time, unfortunately had to throw it away. Blackstrike makes the decision to take the corner boost. Blackstrike now has a lot of field to move with. He's going for a solo play. Maybe not the best movement there, as that was strong defense on a transitional play. Oh boy!
Chance comes through. I was about to talk about their last opportunity, the 2v1, but already the next one comes through. Pablo with not the best control here, maybe looking for the pinch to the corner. Azza reads the ball like a rocket, straight through it, and Burke's not quick enough to get there. They have the deficit, but there has been a lot of time spent, dead time, spent in that midfield that Shaman was just controlling the ball. You could argue it's respite for Pantera, a bit of a moment to breathe, figure themselves out, where the rotation's working and where it isn't, patch those holes. But Shaman aren't going to rest on anything. They're going to push all the way through, back up the midfield as they used to doing. Burke here, great control of the ball with plenty of boost as well. Probably going to go for this solo, gets the reset, flicks it over, opts for finding the support, but ends up being taken away by Azza. And they get another moment to think on what they need to do next to try and get back into this game.
Haven is trying to control it there. Blackstrike throws it across the crease. His teammate not fast enough. Here's a chance for Bruke. He's going to take his time, try to fake them out. He gets past one. It's an easy goal for Haven to clean up.
Oh yeah, they really needed to dive on Burke so much sooner here. King Jace is just hesitant, waits too long, and he gets the ball onto his hood, flicks it up to the crossbar, and Haven's always going to be the favored one there in that exchange. Managed to get his name on the board. All 3 Shaman players have shot, and all 3 have scored to make it 3-1 with only a minute left, even less than that for Pantera to formulate a response. Azza is going to try to do so here with a decent looking dunk, but King J can't get a touch. Blackstrike will be there. Haven can't deny it. Finally, he gets his name on the board. The guy that I talked about before this series began, because I thought he was going to be the standout. Last week, when they defeated their opponent, Blackstrike was the one that I found myself calling out so much more often than the others. And he's the one that needs to step up here as they get one back. 30 seconds. I don't know if this was going to be enough, Liquid.
You know, it's in the premier team more than any other team tier. You really can't count the game out until it's 0 seconds. Whoa. Oh boy! That was almost the 50-50 they needed.
3v1.
Here we go.
Oh no. Brooke somehow got back to it and almost went straight back the other way. As they're wasting opportunities here, Pantera. They had a 3v1, such a clear opportunity. They threw it away, back up the field, and now a 2-goal deficit once again. Shaman in complete control at the end of this game. Haven with a weird-looking double tap, but he somehow manages to thread the needle, bounces it between 2 cars. And what a great way to seal the game 1 of a series that really expected Pantera to put up much more of a fight in. There's still 3 games left to go, but their defense has really struggled, and their offense, even worse. They just can't seem to capitalize on the opportunities given to them.
I don't know if in that last goal, if he got a flip reset off of the wall, because it looked like he got a lot of power, and I was surprised that he threaded through. I mean, they were still in the lead, so they didn't need the goal, but it was just a nail in the coffin at that point. Again, as you see there, Shaman Esports, Haven being the #1 out there with the MVP, 741 points, just about overshadowing his whole teammates. However, that was not solo plays. There was a lot of times where Haven was cleaning up the messes, but he was in the right position to be there. Now, as Panthera Esports, we have a player that's left, and hopefully they come back. Oh yeah, Azza's joined back.
Probably
again.
just a card change, mental reset, psychological aspect of the game of Rocket League. It is so important, the mental, and a lot of players do have that placebo effect. If you change your car, you change your thought pattern, your perspective, and it can help out. And hopefully, for Azza's sake and for Terra's sake, it does. Because this was a statement game. Of course, Haven and Blackstripe were the standout performers, as we highlighted before the series began. Haven much more so. 741 points, 2 goals, 4 saves, all the things you talked about, what he was capable of doing. And he's just a catalyst for this team. He seems to bring them forward. He's the tip of the spear. And right now, that spear's going straight through Pantera's heart. Will it go ever deeper on Forbidden Temple, or will they pull it out and start shanking Shaman right back? We'll have to see on the second game of 4 tonight for these two teams, and I expect some sort of bounce back. I expect a change up in the strategy. I don't think it'll be as clear cut as the first game, but time will tell. We'll just have to see if they've learned their lesson.
No, they haven't.
Almost. They did. No, they did.
Oh wait, no,
they gotta go. 6 seconds in. Yeah, this is Azza. Blackstrike sent to try and disrupt, and it almost didn't go in. Azza almost saved it himself. Just the finest of margins between him pinching that out and just tapping it over the line. But already 6 seconds in, clearly something's changed as they've taken the lead.
It has been a physical game. That first game, like I said, I saw people hunting, and then we saw Blackstrike again, just trying to open up the defensive zone as Blackstrike tries to make a bit of a play there, loses a bit of control, and it's down the other end. Kings has to throw it away. Haven's got a turn now. He was deadly in the first game. He almost got the second touch the way he wanted to, as it's back in their end again. Here comes Pablo. He's throwing it out in the middle, and Brockay has a very sharp angle, but is able to get it all the way away from the last defender, who I don't think had a whole lot of boost.
Yeah, it's a rough one to see conceded in Prem. It's more of a challenger or a rival level goal. Azza just getting beaten at the front post. Blackstrike the first to lose the 50, and then I think he hit it off his own corner. Again, just losing control of that ball as Pablo did in the first game, and it can lead to such a punishing display. Losing that lead, so precious. But now they are back on the front foot. A big miss by Brockay. Blackstrike wasn't quite ready for it, but he tried to create something. Azza now left as the last man. Does very, very well to keep that out of Pablo's control, and now keeping it in the midfield as well. Breaking it down this line. Azza opts to stay away from that. Blackstrike calls him off. King Jays is there with a shot, but Haven somehow read that last week and stops it in its tracks. Now back up the field. They're looking for a counter of their own. It does not come to much fruition, however. Straight to the backboard. Haven can read this, but he doesn't manage to do so. Pablo still with the control now off the side wall. Looking to do this all alone as Azza already pre-jumped, but Blackstrike having to take it off that front post. Still such an even game, Liquid, and that physicality seems to slow down a little bit more in favor of mechanics. And I don't know if this favors Pantera, but it's an even game.
Pantera was the team that really pushed themselves and was tackling Shaman quite a lot. As you said, like, the mechanics are starting to come out here a little bit more, as Kings just threw that one tops bins, still a little bit outside, unable to get that in the slot. And we see here Panthera is trying to gain control as they're on the defensive side again. Kings is going to try and collect the ball, unfortunately not able to, as it switches all the way to the other side. Blackstrike has an opportunity here, not able to get it past both of them. Azza's got to beat themselves to the ball. Pablo is up for disruption. King reads it quite well, able to throw it way down and away. Brockay is going to collect this nice and easily. Has a lot of boost, has some space. There was a physical play, but that third man was not there enough. Haven still got the pinch!
And just as I was seeing this play unfold, I was thinking, what are they doing right to control the pressure? And Shaman, the midfield play has been exceptional. They've almost always got someone ready to push through, get into those positions to stop the 50s and the big clears. Brockay did this all alone, took his time off the side wall, pinched it, and I was like, where is everybody? Why is no one ready for this pinch to the mid? Oh, Haven's right there. He just wanted to style. He just wanted to get that 50 dunk, and managed to pinch it bottom right corner, takes that lead back for Shaman. Now with half of the game left to go, Pantera once again on the back foot, and this looks so much worse. Haven desperately wanted that double tap off the ground. would have just added a feather to his cap, I believe. It's a great chance by King Jays of Blackstrike. They seem to have pre-planned that. Blackstrike jumped way earlier than I expected him to, but they couldn't make contact. And another counter's going to hurt them once again. This is just too simple for Shaman to get goals. Haven picks up his brace, and it's a simple tap to the mid. No one's able to get up for it.
They were so much on a transition already, and like you said, Blackstrike was up way early for that. I thought, and apparently he thought the pass was coming a little bit sooner. It didn't quite link up the way they wanted to. As we're seeing again, and I saw yesterday, the Premier team, the way the kickoffs are going is very aggressive. All three men are running for that ball in the midfield. And when the cheater misses, oh, this has got to be a goal. Oh, what a read by Bruckay to get there in time. Haven, dangerous, misses a double tap. That's okay. Bruckay is going to take his time here, throwing it high, making them go for an in-out save. Not able to get all of it. Bruckay kept control. Blackstrike Pablo centered across. Blackstrike is up there to meet in order to try and keep pressure on. He's got no boost. He's going to try and collect that ball. He took the boost, did not get the ball. Bruckay hit it right into Kings. And as we see, both Azra and Blackstrike were both on the same side. It really is starting to feel more and more that Shaman has enough control. They have enough composure to keep this in Panthera's end.
But not only that, when Pantera do actually break out, we've seen it a few times now, they waste their chances. It was a great stop by Bruckay, and we both, called out that it was a fantastic read, but they had a 2v1 opportunity, and that's happened quite a bit. More so in game 1, but a few times in game 2 as well. They throw away the chance. They need to be a lot more decisive in what they're wanting to do in that play, because if they take too long, then it allows Shaman to get back into position. It's a great 50 across, and it does give them a chance, but again, it's just that bit too slow. And at this level of Premier, you cannot take a moment's notice. That hesitation will throw your entire offensive push into disarray. And there was a fantastic save by Haven, but again, I'm just talking about it as it happens time after time. They can't get a shot through. This one does eventually get across in a dangerous, threatening position, but Bruckay gets back to it like it was nothing. Like there was no sweat on his brow whatsoever, and it continues to happen, and it's exactly why Pantera cannot get anything out of offense, and they're not doing it well enough in the midfield to suggest that they could stop Shaman's own offense. So it's just a cascade of things that aren't working for Pantera right now, and they really need to fix them sooner rather than later, because it's getting very, very bad for them controlling these games, and they've already lost 2 of them, so the best they could get is a draw out of this series. They need to be scrapping for it.
It really seems like exactly what you said, that Pantera is just not able to get their passing play going. Shaman is on fire for that. Panthera seems to be playing the solo plays with an aggressor support, someone who's charging in to try and make the last defender make a move. And that's worked for him a few times, but it's not worked enough to win the games.
And it's a sad thing to see, because I talked about I casted the last series last week, and they played much better than this. Of course, most of the play seemed to go through Blackstrike, or at least he was the last man on the offense at the time, and he scored the most goals for them. But right now he's relegated to the backfield. He had a couple shots, but he's been forced to make 3 saves. And it's one of the saddest things you can see on a Rocket League field, when you know there's a player that's extremely proficient on offense, but they're just being pushed all the way back on defense, and they're forced to play a different style and they're used to and they're comfortable with. And Shaman's been doing that so well because of that control of the midfield, because of the control of the boost especially, but they've not been doing that many high-flying, crazy plays like resets and double taps. We've seen a couple, but that's to be expected at the Premier level. It's not necessarily been their focal point, and I don't think that's what Pantera need to focus on. They have to look inward and understand why their chances aren't coming through, more so than why they are unable to stop Shaman, because at this point the defenses are working. They need to start flat out outscoring Shaman, and I think that is what they need to start doing if they have any chance of getting back into this series. There's another missed opportunity early on, does not find its way through.
Yeah, you said it bang on. Like you said, Panthera has been missing their opportunities, and that was one that you just know they felt. That was an easy, surefire goal, just not able to get it away. As here we see Blackstrike trying to carry the ball out of their end, not able to get it past the mid zone. But however, Blackstrike has gone all the way into their zone to steal the ball. Broquet able to control that nice and easily. Pablo Barrel is able to get a flip reset to move it a little bit further down. Kings and Haven have removed themselves from the pitch and put themselves in a timeout. Broquet has low boost, however he's going to throw it at the net. Not the touch he wanted. Double commit from Kings. Haven, ever dangerous, ever thoughtful. There's the pass.
What
do you say?
They seem to be struggling constantly on aerials. Haven is a completely free bird. We can see Blackstrike, I believe that was, going up to the ceiling, but it's just simply not quick enough. He just plays it off the ceiling itself, bounces it down, and Pablo Broquet even is right there, ready to read the ball, and completely embarrass the defender because the last man there has no chance. He's already way out of the play, and he's got no luck in that situation to try and stop the ball because is the last man, and he's been completely beaten by speed. So they've got to deal with the ball so much sooner. Maybe push the first and the second man up a little bit further. It's harder to do when you're being starved on the boost game, which Shaman seem exceptionally proficient at.
I don't know if you just watched that or not, but Panthera, as it just dove into Shaman Esports goal to try and get a bump, and they had completely lost control of the ball. However, as I say that, congratulations, Asa. Make me put my foot in my mouth as you get a long shot goal from your top of the crease all the way in. There was no one back. I don't know what broke down there on the Shaman Esports side, because I was trying to formulate my own thoughts, and you'll try and tell Asa why you dive in here. You know, shame on me.
Well, yeah, I think there was just a little bit of fortune with pinch to the mid. Of course, as it needs to be there, and it was well positioned. Wasn't the greatest of shots, but it was enough to break down Shaman's rotation, which they've been pretty diligent in so far in this series. No one's perfect. Aggression can definitely be punished, as it is here for Pantera. And straight back up the field. It's like they don't even register that Pantera scored. They're just like, okay, back up the field, 2v1 opportunity. Broquet shoots into an open net, finds his brace. And just to preface this, Haven and Pablo Bar are below 100 points. Broquet has 381. He's clearly just put on the backpack and it's like, hop in, lads. I've got this one. I've got this game. And they just seem completely comfortable in every facet of the game, every area of the field. And Pantera can't seem to put them under the same sort of pressure as Haven. Just a free aerial. He's looking for the dunk here, but it doesn't matter because he's got a follow-up. Unfortunately, they didn't get the shot on target, but they seem so much more dangerous going up the field than Pantera do, and they seem to be getting consistently more desperate, Pantera, every single time they go back up the field. They just get that little bit more aggressive, and it's far too easy for Sham to exploit.
Yeah, it's been rather unfortunate that it seems very hesitant on the... I can't get my sentence in. I was about to say they've been very, very hesitant, unfortunately, Pantera, in the passing plays. I've seen them, maybe they're not sure where the ball's going to land or if they're actually going to come to them. There's been these solo plays, and it's not working because Shaman is coming at them as a team. And every time Pantera has scored, there has been a response. And the response has been 1 or 2 goals. So if you can get 1, I can get 2 or 3. As Haven's going to take this for a dribble. Bruh has a banger of a shot. However, fortunately, again, Panthera is back in order to survive that one. Pablo Bar is up to disrupt the midfield. Can Panthera get it past the midfield? Nope. Aza's got it, tries to throw it away. And now, Shaman's going to collect themselves. That corner boost was not them. Haven is on top of a player here. Pablo Bar gets a nice little tap. Haven was trying to destroy Aza. Blackstrike gets bumped. Here comes the middle pass.
Yep.
What are we at? 4 goals, 3 assists.
Broquet's putting on a clinic right now. He's getting in the great positions, and he's having to put that work in. It's fantastic. It's mostly from Pablo Bar. This is timing that flick, getting it past the first man, and Pantera's second man or third man is just simply too slow. Staring down a sickly deja vu right now.
Oh. I bet during the minute between game 2 and game 3 here, because Haven had 2 MVPs. What happened was Brooke went, anything you can do, I can do better.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He's got to try. He's got to put his tryhard pants here. They've got an opportunity here, Panthera. I've seen him so many times where he's coming in to join the play, and he gets flat-footed. So I don't know if he's just a little bit out of position. The ball isn't going where he wants him to go, but it just hasn't been moving in Panthera's way. As here's an opportunity. Haven got a piece of that, but not enough. That's Blackstrike. Puts them within 2.
The same scoreline we saw on Forbidden Temple. Or was it? Yeah, I think so. Or the first game. It was one of them. Don't question my memory. It is perfect. All that I know is that it was 4-2 at the end of one of the games. And that's exactly what Pantera couldn't break. They could not get past that second goal. They could not find a third. Make these scorelines look a little bit more respectable. And it's too little too late. I don't think they have enough time unless Azza just couldn't quite get ahead of that one. Get his nose on it to give us a glimpse, a possibility, a chance. Shaman's just been far too consistent at the 1v1 plays. They might make it 5, as King Jace has something to say about it. Finds his 3rd save of the game, but it's not going to be enough. Shaman stare down the barrel of 3-1 victory at the very least. Could still go to a sweep. But as you mentioned, between the games, Pantera's probably going to change something, that they're going to take this minute to really think things through. They're getting goals, but they're not soon enough, and they're conceding just far too easily, mainly on the counter, which indicates you're being too aggressive. You're sending too many people up the field. That third man has to be a bit more resolute, a bit more reserved, and make Shaman make the mistakes, make them get pushing too far forward. Of course, that is a difficult thing to say, much easier to do. It's a much easier thing said than done, because of Shaman's ability on the ball individually. That just the solo plays alone, Haven and Pablo Barber, Broke, especially in this game, all of them are capable of being threatening on offense, and it is something that is such a headache to deal with for any defense, no matter what strategy you employ. So this is it's a very tough situation for Pantera, but it is salvageable at least for one game. Every single game, fresh slate, clean 5 minutes, and I really think something could change up here, because it's not the Pantera I was expecting to see, and I'm not entirely sure why it has changed so drastically from their first series of the season.
See, now, if I'm Panthera at this point, we've lost the series. So in my mind, the pressure's off. Now it's time to just
That is one way of looking at it.
Right? To stop being hesitant, to just go for it now, right? You've lost the series. Now, in RSC, we all know that every game matters. But the mentality is, it's 3. They've won 3, so this is now the consolation prize. We have an opportunity to steal 1. Let's do something different. Let's just stop being hesitant. Let's just go crazy after the ball. I hope they change their play style of either being able to link up with these passes or being able to actually hit their bumps, because there wasn't a whole lot of demos in that last game, the last 2 games rather, and that seems to be their play style. Oh, here we go.
Didn't seem to quite work out in their favor, if that was their style. Most of their goals were fortunate, you have to argue. Maybe sans one from Azza at the beginning of the Forbidden Temple game, but not much more after that one. As this, I believe this was a pull shot. We're going to have the replay prove it to us, but Azza with a missed chance at the... Yeah, that's a pull shot. Burke didn't even mean to hit that, and no one's at the near post, so Azza's going to be made to look a fool, gifting another goal to Shaman Esports. But something that you mentioned, the mantra, often repeated, every game matters, is just that much more important in Premier, because they play so fewer games than the rest of the league. Every single game is worth double. And right now, they're already losing game 4. 2 goals in the first minute, Barricade to beat 2, and they just cannot control. It seems like their entire half of the field. That blue side is very, very quickly becoming a shade of purple, and it's worrying to see for Pantera. It is only one series, of course, and they will have plenty of time, this only being the second week of Premier. and plenty of time to remedy whatever the problems are in this game and this series. But this is blood in the water for the rest of the conference, no doubt about it.
Oh my. That was just mayhem. There was a demo, they traded. It was a neutral demo, and then the ball was just hanging out in the midfield. They made a smart play to get physical, and there was just an open net. You know, you got to feel for Pantera. They're not being able to play the game that they want, and if you watch, it is incredible. Every time that Shaman has touched the ball, it more than likely is landing on target to their teammate. They are in the right position. They have correct ball control. They are predicting where each other are going to go. It has been fantastic to see, and unfortunate that Pantera is not getting the same synergy as Kings tries to throw the ball high and find someone in the net. Blackstrike has an opportunity, not able to get in front of it enough. Brooke is going to try and take his time. Kings is keeping the zone control. Blackstrike removes Brooke from the field. Pablo gets the flip reset. Blackstrike, it's on you to save it as he tries to collect it in the corner. Pablo gets the demo off the back post. Haven not able to get that easy hit as he was a little bit out of position. Blackstrike, low boost, tries to get control. Kings keeps the pressure on. This is probably one of Panthera's best runs right now, as they have not had a third man way out of position. Haven, I think, disrupted both of them there. Az has got to make a move. There's a double commit from Kings, and again they collide in the corner. Blackstrike's on a solo play with 0 boost. At this level, though, they respect each other. They don't know how much boost each other have, but you always respect the player to make sure they have the expected hit.
Well, this level, you could argue, one of the most important skills for any player and any team is the ability to track boost, knowing who's got what, meaning who's capable of what. King Jays is finally capable of getting one on the board, flicks it through near post. They get one back with plenty of time to make some more moves. But it's just been a well-rounded, beautifully balanced performance from Shaman in this entire series, regardless of the result of this final game. A professional standard has been set, and they just seem to be able to supplement each other's weaknesses. Whenever one player makes a mistake, there's another one right there ready to make the play, and they make very, very few mistakes. Another great chance up the field, immediately in the counter. It gets all the way to the goal line before any blue player is anywhere near it. There's once again some big misses. Allows Broke to get to that backboard. Hunting for his hat-trick once again. He's already got 2. You know he wants 3. As Pablo's going to miss that. To not manage to get on the score sheet just yet in this game, as Broke is going to find his hat-trick on a beautiful looking solo play. He's backwards at the beginning of this. He just sat there in the middle of the field. Blackstrike doesn't know what to do. He half flips, gets through there. King Jays gets a touch, but it's still not enough. Post and in. Broke with a hat-trick twice consecutively in 2 games. And I thought, you know what, Haven is one of the best players on this team. Broke is just like, I took that personally. And you said it yourself. Yeah, I can do that better. He's done it so much better at this in this final game.
Up again.
And all 3 of them in the right position at the right time.
And Theron needs this. If anything, oh, there you go, there you go. Oh, robbed by the crossbar.
Even when they do right, they do wrong. What are you gonna do? Lady Luck has clearly frowned upon them in this series, especially in this final game. As if I wouldn't say they've had more chance in this one than the other games. They've had plenty of them. I think on Forbidden Temple they had most of the 2v1s. They even had a 3v1 at one point, and they just could not. It felt like drawing blood from a rock, essentially, from the Terror. Everything they did just wasn't quite enough, as Azza cannot get a touch. This one's too high. King Jays, you have to finish this one. He does find his way through, but we're right back where we were, 4-2 with less than a minute left to go. And I'm starting to look at the script here, Liquid, and I'm like, this is too obvious. No one's gonna believe this.
You know what? Pantera put a fantastic goal in that last one to make this within 2. But just before that, the play that was developing from Shaman Esports, it was a no-look pass from Haven all the way across. Pablo Bar was not able to collect it, and Pantera was able to interrupt it and turn that into a goal on their end. But again, the communication has to be working. something has to be working. Pavlovar is just wasting time at this point.
Just playing his own game.
There's really no point in trying to push the ball. You're up by 2. You have all the time in the world in that corner. You are safe as safe can be. Brucke is going to try and collect it. He's going to get the ball and the boost. He's going to turn again for another challenge. And Pavlovar is his turn now, as he has enough to win the 50-50. Brucke has gone off to the corner to collect that boost. If he only had the wherewithal to turn back around, he would have had a clean shot. This game is all but over with a 4-0 sweep. Congratulations to Shaman Esports for putting on that display. Panthera, you can still hold your head high, I believe. These games weren't too much of a blowout, but I think your play style of physicality against Shaman Esports, who is able to pass the ball across the field and move it around, KISS kind of disabled your ability to cause that physicality.
And I mean, you're saying the same things that you said 2 games ago, because the same thing continued to happen. There was no more things you could say about that performance other than Shaman dominated. They did everything right. Every single piece of Rocket League play that you can have went in their favor. And despite the fact that, as you said, Pantera, they can hold their heads high and that they weren't completely demolished, because obviously they didn't get shut out. I don't believe in any game. I think they scored every single game, regardless of how they actually managed to get those goals. They got them, and that's the important part. But yeah, the sweep is the big one. That's what makes the headlines. That's what's so crucially important, especially in Premier, every single game. And I find myself, thinking what I didn't expect to think. Pantera did this to Kronos last series before the Christmas break. They were able to do everything right, and they made them just look like fools. But they actually lost the game in that one. Shaman didn't. They were the difference here, and that pushes them into such a brilliant spot in this season at this current stance. I think that takes them to 7-1 games now. So fantastic beginning. And I would not be surprised to see them near the top of the table by the end of the season, based on that performance, because that was exceptional, the way that they dismantled Pantera in so many areas of the field. But I don't think this is the last we'll see of Pantera. I don't think this will put them in a death spiral and then end up in the bottom 2 or bottom 3. I think they will regain, they will learn from this. And I hope to see them bounce back, because it was just a shame that from what we saw, I wanted to see such a more tight and tense series, and what we got was just a beatdown, essentially.
Yeah, again, Shaman Esports just did a great job of controlling the field. I would love to see the stats after the fact, but it was just fantastic to see. Definitely going to be talked about clearly on the podcast. Both Premier on Ignis and Iglesias both showing a 4-0 week for the stream games. I don't know how the rest of the tier did, or if they're still waiting for games, but that was just fantastic to see 2-4-0, and I'm glad to be part of it. I don't know if we're trying to get a player for an interview, if that's still going to happen or not. If it is, if it isn't, doesn't matter. I can still waffle on a little bit more, as that tends to be the trend. I get notified here that we do have someone in the booth. Who do we have with us?
Oh, it's Pablo. Hello.
He's very loud in my ears. Hello, Pablo.
My bad.
That's not your fault.
So how did you feel how that whole series went?
I was a bit confused, but we have worked really hard for this, not only for this, but we got RCS, Telia League, and everything coming up, so we need to be prepared, and hopefully we're winning both RCS, Telia League, and RSC. So we move.
To say it is showing, so I have to ask the question because I'm very, very curious. But your comms must have been on fire, because there was a lot of times where I watched you guys hit the ball and it went nowhere that the player that's hitting the ball could see. It went right to your teammates, and it was fantastic to see the way you guys linked up. You used the whole field. And did you feel that Panthera was coming after you guys for bumps and demos?
Not really. I think we did that a lot, but we didn't have comms though at all.
You didn't have comms?
No, I'm just kidding. We had comms. We had comms.
Class clown, this one. I can already tell.
No.
But it was well deserved, and it was well earned in that series. You mentioned you were confused about how that one went. I mean, I feel that's how you must have made Pantera feel. There was so many situations where you had complete control, and they just looked like they were lost. They were headless chickens, and part of that was down to their own play. But I feel like mostly it was down to what you and Haven and Burke were capable of, especially in the boost game. That was what I noticed most, was you were able to control those 100 boosts diligently. The small pad pathing was near perfection. So yeah, just I wanted to say congratulations on that performance alone. But as a question more broadly, you mentioned RLCS and the other league that escapes me because I'm terrible. But is RSC sort of like a test bed for you against different levels of players, and it's not necessarily a warm up, but it keeps you fresh and gives you an edge in terms of only playing once a week, so you don't have to commit too much to it. But do you find the level of competition up to your expectation and what you're wanting to practice against in the RLCS?
100%. I expected way more from these guys, but we were just way better, I guess. But the league is Telia League. It's a Norwegian league. We finished second last time on LAN, but we are looking forward to get to first place this time. So we are just working hard pretty much every day.
That's what I expect, considering the performance that you had. I mentioned it. I expect to see you at the top of the table by the end of this RSC season. It's good that you've got that level of practice, that you're able to keep coming back to this, and I'm in the same seat. I expected Pantera to do much better in that one, but you gave them a rough up, and I think they'll really reel back from that one and try and learn a lot from what you're capable of doing. I mentioned it in the series. You seem very well-rounded, very balanced, and you make up for each other's weaknesses, and you amplify each other's strengths, it seems like. So yeah, fantastic performance. Well done to you, and I wish you luck in your next series. I believe it's going to be next week. Obviously, you only play one series a week. I even forget this sometimes, Liquid.
Wait, let me check. We are versing next week. Wait,
this is something we should know. I think it's Resistance. Okay. Yes, they lost their first series, so I think you'll have a good time against them if you're playing like you did tonight.
Yeah. If I could ask you a question, like who would you predict for playoffs?
I think it's a little early to say, to be honest, Pablo. I'm not going to get dragged into that, Mort. People are going to be like, no, he's wrong. They're gonna clip this and be like, it's ridiculous. He's not going to know that. But I think he'll be in the top three just on that performance. I think that's one of your strongest positions. But yeah, I don't think we've seen it much.
I will throw this out that based on what I saw yesterday in terms of the chat being very excited and hyping up, Balar Carey is a fan favorite in the other division. So they might be one to look out for should you make it all the way through your playoffs.
Yeah, we should make it all the way through the playoffs. I think our best or the best opponents we are going to verse, like from at least the other one, is it Ignis? I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Symbioris. Is it them? Symbioris or Wicked Sailors probably will be the hardest opponents, and they are really good.
Yep, currently top two. Wicked Sailors swept their first series.
Yep.
And Symbiotes, or Bollery Carry, 3-1. So, again, don't want to make predictions too early. We've only played one series. Ask me in week 4 or 5. Bit of a clearer picture there. But yeah, I expect to see you near the top, Shaman, if not at the very tip top. But that's going to be down to you to prove that. So.
And obviously, I'm going to give a shout out to Tempo and Casper and my team. So we're going to win the next round, you know?
Yeah.
If you say so. Got to prove it. Got to go out there and do it.
Yeah,
and it's
the Norwegian Holland interviews.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much for joining us in the booth here.
Yeah, no worries. See you.
See you later, Pablo. Well, that was one of the best players that we saw on the field tonight. It's arguable Haven or Brookie were on the same level of that. We saw fantastic performances from all three of them. But Pablo was the one brave enough to come into the booth, so that makes him my MVP, Liquid. And it's been a pleasure to once again be in the booth with you. Not quite the series I expected to see, but it was great either way.
Yeah, it was fantastic to be in the booth with you as well. I think you're in for what, the next hour, or are you doing the whole
next
stream?
Two series? Yeah, whole thing.
Well, I hope you have a good rest of the stream, and I hope the next couple games are just as exciting as that one.
I do too. We'll be moving down a tier into Master Abyss versus, if I can check my notes, Droga. I shouldn't forget them, they're a great team, but we'll see more about them in just a little bit as we take a short break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back with some more RSC action.
I'm the storm that meets the moon. I'm the sun that will not move. Do you think you are? Who do you think you
Welcome back, one and all, to the RSC. And, well, if you're just joining us, you're halfway through. We've already had one series. We were up in Premier. It was between two fantastic teams. It ended up going Shaman Esports' way, though, at the detriment of Pantera Esports. A 4-0 sweep. Rare to see, very unexpected to see. But we must move forward and on, well, downwards, really. Down to Master, Abyss versus Draugr. And to replace the wonderful Canadian Liquid site, we bring in no other than Vino. And I think Vino is one of the two. I think Morris Guy said tomato to me. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter.
Is that you're a great caster, and I'm happy to be back in the booth with you, Vino.
I'm very excited to be in the booth as well, back in RSC where I belong. The second match of this evening, Abyss against Drogo, is going to be an exciting one. We have 4 players from Abyss as well as 4 players on Drogo. Unsure which one is the sub, but on Abyss's side we have Emils, Tally, Meth Loot and Esgard, which is going to be very exciting to see that lineup. Where whoever is going to be playing. And then on Drogo's side, we have NW7, Peachy Boy, Crisp, and Cool.
We do indeed, and I can answer that question for you in terms of who's the sub. I think Esgod is on the side of Abyss. He has 0 games played, of course, and Cool on the side of Draugr, who will be on the field tonight, replacing Chris, who we've seen stand out quite a bit in the league so far after his move from Heck. And it's incredible to see what Draugr have been able to do. Currently tearing up the Glaciers Conference, being the only team with a perfect series record of 6 wins in 6. But on the other side, Abyss wrestling with some unsteady seas. 3 wins, 3 losses, and a draw to round out their campaign on the cusp of mid-season. So I'm expecting this one to be a tough match for Abyss, despite how close they seem to be in the table. And although saying that, you know, it's a surprise to see Cool playing tonight. For some reason, Chris couldn't, and he has been one of the best goal scorers we've seen in the league so far. The best shooting percentage on this Draugr team as well. So seeing that sub come in, they have to play sub games, of course, but against Abyss here, they're quite close in terms of table positioning. So it's a surprise, but I think that it should be a good match either way.
Yeah, it's going to be, you know, a real big upset if Abyss is able to pull at least a tie even to against the first seeder here of Drougr. But it's going to be a very long road ahead for them this evening with 53.57 win percentage compared to the 79.17% on Draugr's side. I don't believe Draugr will be lowering that win percentage anytime soon. So let's jump straight to the predictions, shall we? Vector, who do you have your money on?
Another one that's tough to call for me. Draugr haven't played this week yet. This is the first series of the week. They play tomorrow as well. But Abyss most recently swept Iovi just a couple days ago. So arguably the momentum is in their favor. It looks like they could be the stronger side here. And especially without Chris on the side of Draugr. Bringing in Cool, I don't know him as well. I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make to the chemistry, to how they play as a whole. So for me, Abyss probably just have the edge here. It's probably going to be a close one. Might end up a draw. I'm not going to go as far as to predict that it will be a draw because I'm not too silly like that. But for me, the standout on Abyss is Tally, and is probably going to be him to look to be the catalyst for this team. It's tough to separate the players on Draugr. NW7, coincidentally and wonderfully, has 7 MVPs. You can argue he's the best. And as I already mentioned before, Chris had the best shooting percentage. So without him, this could be a tough one. That chemistry isn't quite there. The rotation isn't quite there. And I think with Abyss's full roster, with Tally, Emils, and Mafklu, I think they just have the edge.
I have to go against you there, mate. Draugr has been looking very, very good this whole season. Only dropping 5 games, I believe it was. So, personally, I do think Abyss will be able to claim 1 game away from Draugr, but I'm not seeing them take the whole series. I have my money on Draugr, and are you ready for some more Rocket League action, Vector?
Absolutely am, Vino, and I don't know, you talk about Draugr like they're the best thing since sliced bread, but they've not got Chris on the field tonight. Cool, this is his debut in the RSC11 as the arguably the sub for this roster. Chris has played every other game with them, and so it's going to be a test against this Abyss side that's on the up and up. As I already mentioned, got a sweep against Iovi in their last series. This is their final series of the week, and they're going to want to finish it on a strong note. They've got that bite. They've got that dog in them. And I'm expected to see some fantastic high-flying action as Mafklu already with a bit of time and space on the edge of that red box. Doesn't quite get what he was looking for out of it, but the pressure is still on Tally. Still in this corner, maybe expecting NW7 to do something with that, but he didn't have the boost. And now there's Tally to stop Peachy Boy over to the backboard. Mafklu does read it well enough, and Emils to link up as well. Straight back down the field into this red corner. A nice touch across. NW7 was awkward to the backboard. Tally's free shot manages to get stopped by 2 defending players. A double commit, but it was enough to keep this scoreless with 1 minute gone.
Cool, just shooting it a bit too high. A lot of shooting back and forth. There was a mistake there from the defensive side of Blue. a double commit that opened up some way for Drogo to nearly just score, but so far it's looking really good. Nothing too dangerous out of the blue currently, but it is still possession for Drogo. Peachy Boy now, a pass into Cooper, he gets demoed in the process. The ball now in the hands of Vitali, does get it over one, that's on the backboard, the bump is not fouled, that's a great save, and it is still 0-0.
Merest of margins, they somehow managed to keep it out. Now both sides have only got one shot on the board. Very evenly matched so far, but it could be Tally to break that deadlock with a great play off the ceiling. Fakes out the first touch, pinches it with the ground. And just an assist to himself. Mathgloop does well to keep it in that half, but that's absolutely beautiful play from Tally. And there we go, Cool with his first contribution to the match actually ends up, well, he doesn't obviously own goal. That it was already on target, but he couldn't quite get there, couldn't make up the difference. And it is Abyss to take first blood in this 4-game series. Can Drogo respond? So they managed to get one off the ceiling, but it's going all the way back to their end. Peachy Boy, plenty of boost to get it past the first man though. Left all alone with the reset, decides to fake it out, beats two, but Mills is ready for it. NW7 with a weak shot, it's Wayward still in position for Peachy Boy to do something as he ends up getting beaten away by Tally. They hold on to that precious lead.
That was a bit scrappy from the defensive side, but they're still alive so far. That's a great clear from Loot. The ball in the hands of Peachy Boy now. Looking for an air dribble, tries to find a teammate, no boost to work with, can't really do much, can't get it by one though. And W7 looking for a pass, can't really get it by Tally. Cool, into the middle, Emils finds Tally in the off-field. Great catch as well, can't really do much there. And W looking for a pass, just goes for a solo play, can't get the dunk. Emils now playing the possessive game, tries to get it by Peachy Boy, can't do so, the ball back into the middle. A pass out to the middle, that's into the corner though, will he get it? No, the angle is not good enough.
Try and try again, Droga. One of them will go through eventually. Something I've seen quite a bit of. He's then trying to go for the long clears, throwing the ball away, expecting a teammate to be in position. Peach is just about in the right place to prevent a double to Abyss's lead there. Great stop, but it won't be enough to push them forward. That's what Peach is doing right now. Using up all his boosters to hunt that one down. It pulls out two defenders in the corner. A free shot for Cool. Maybe looking for a teammate, but NW7 didn't want to commit. Opts for the disrupted play in the midfield, but it doesn't work out for the Tally with boosted time. Big miss here from NW7. Leaves that space, but Cool is back in the right position. Cool heads prevail. They manage to at least make sure they don't get an extended deficit here, because that's probably the worst thing that could happen in this situation. With a minute left, they've had very little offense to show for it, and really Abyss seem to be the ones in control, as tenuous as it is.
NW7 looking to make a play, can't get it by Lou. Tally tries to pop it up, but can't get it by Peachy Boy. Time played by Emils, but can't really do much against Cool. Tries to pop it to the middle, can't find it. Tally, again, not good enough of a touch. Peachy Boy forcing it into the corner. Tally having the ball, can't do much with it. That's going back straight to the middle. Looking for a teammate to pass. NW7 with the shot, a bit too high. Emils with the transition. Is it good enough? No, Peachy Boy is in the way.
Just more time wasted off the clock. Peachy taking a lot of time to try and get this past the first man, but he's going to be dove on. Great play by NW7. Beat one and beat two. Mathgloop's going to be right there to deal with it, however. Out through his own corner. Still going to get a Costa, but it won't be enough. Mills is in the right position, but it's a 1-2 passing play to find it through. In fact, it was a 1-2-3. And with 11 seconds left to go, Droga equalize. Great pre-flip by Cool to find his teammate. And an open, glaring net for Peachy Boy to slam it into. And give us more of a reason to think he should be the MVP of this game. He's had 3 saves already, but now he's contributed on the other end. And as the seconds tick away, will we see a late winner? Or will it go to an overtime for the first game of the series? Cool dives on that once again. He's managed to do that a couple times now to save Droga's graces, but it is OT. And I really did not expect Droga to equalize there.
Yeah, Drogo has been looking very, very hungry so far, and they finally proved it on the dying few moments. Cool didn't even have boost to work with, but still went for the pass and got it straight perfectly for Peachy Boy. But now with overtime, that is very dangerous into the middle. The flip reset, good with the short whizzing. Peachy Boy back to the middle. Can't really get it by Emails. The demo goes through for Peachy Boy. Emails looking to make a play. No boost to work with. That's going to the middle. Loot looking to pass it back, but no one to turn forward. Peachy Boy does get the clear. Emails is there. Will take the time as he needs it. Going for our solo play. Will he get it by the defense? That's dropping down. Not good enough. That's a bit too wide. Tally looking to make a pass, but again just blocked out by the defense.
Feel sorry for Emils there. Really overplayed that ball. Did everything right, but the final touch is Tally and Mafkluk double commit. This is precarious. Great shot by Cole. He gets back in time. He must be low on boost at this point though, and Peachy with a fantastic pinch to take it back through the middle. Momentary respite for Abyss, but the pressure's still on. This one was not quite in the position that Cole wanted it to be. It's a weak shot. It's battered away straight back into this corner, however. And this is not the position that Abyss want to be in. They're throwing the ball away, trying to clear it out. They're getting beaten at ones and twos. It's going to be another one for U7 to try and get through, but Emils does well. Vent that pressure.
A lot of pressure coming out now finally from Abyss's side. That's a small unfortunate touch, but Peachy Boy does get the transition, but Emos cuts it short. That's back into the orange corner. Tally going for a shot, a bit too weak. Peachy Boy another touch, but has to go for another one to make it safe. Good block by Cool, looking to make a clear. Tally cuts it short. Will it be in? It's not, a bit too wide. A miss from Amos, but there it is. Loot will force it through and take the game for Abyss.
Oh, missed shot is just a pass, Vino. That's exactly what Tally will be saying right now. As Emils was doing enough to disrupt the last defender. And Abyss finally find their way through just on the cusp of the second minute of overtime. By your prediction, Vino, Abyss have already got one game. There's 3 left to go. Are you feeling a little bit scared that that might have been a bit premature?
I mean, they did fight their way back, Drogar. At the end there, unfortunately, they could not capitalize on the opportunities that they were given throughout the game. And hopefully they will be just learning from the whole experience. It is quite of a game to kind of forget. There were like so many opportunities for them, but hey, they can just move on. I'm not too scared about my prediction being wrong. So far it is saying, okay, well, Abyss got one game. It's time to wake up, Drogar, because they're walking on thin ice.
It's as tight as it could have been. 9 shots from both sides. It makes sense because it ended in an overtime. But one more save on the side of Drogar. Now, you could argue that's better defense. I argue that they spent more time on defense, less time on offense, exactly where they wanted to be. And at this point, I'm going to start wondering if I should coin the crisps effect. Because as I said, he had the best shooting accuracy on this Drogar side before this series began. And they seem to be missing that. They seem to be missing that X factor that he brings to the field, that finishing ability. They only managed to get 1 on the board. Did go to a decently long overtime, and I expect this second game of Forbidden Temple to be very much shades of the first. But it's Abyss that end up driving seat here as an amazing attempt. Is somehow stopped by Cole, bashed it into his own post. And they get away with the first time of asking. As amazingly, they go back up the field and do the exact same thing to Abyss. Mafkluk, not the greatest of touches, but a passing play had to come through. Slots it bottom right corner. That was unstoppable. And Drogar finally gives us a reason to think that they are the ones that should be in control.
Luke, off the kickoff, does win it for his team as Tally tries to beat Cool into the ball. Can't really do so. Peach Boy going for a shot of his own. Gets saved by Emils. Tally can't find a touch. NW7 into the middle, but another block on top from Luke. Cool can't do much with the ball. Low boost to work with Tally. That's a pinch attempt. Can't really do much. A miss. Emils does get the fake. It's leaving a scrappy defense on the red side, but no one to capitalize.
Yeah, they really got away with that one. Floated precariously just on the edge of their box, but none of the Abyss players wanted to commit. Want to make it that much more difficult to come back. Still plenty of time. On the first minute, it's a pull shot between Tally and Mafkluk. Ends up finding its way to Emils, looking for the double tap, maybe the triple tap. It's not the most controlled, but it's still awkward to deal with for the defense. Managed to get away with it once again. Abyss not capitalizing, not pushing hard enough, not being too aggressive. making sure that these follow-up plays have got a chance to go through the defense. It's cool. That third man, goal scorer in this second game, pushes it back up the field. Great play from Abyss to be the first man to that ball, but they're not able to follow it up. It seems like almost every time it's just a Draga player ready to hit it right back.
Oh
And
no.
a weak touch by Emils
no.
opens this up so easily for NW7 to slot it in, pants his stat here. That is just so unfortunate to see. It's just too quick. He's got ahead of the ball there, and it's given Draga such a great lead.
That is not what you want to see. That is just adding salt to the wound. 2 goals down now. They have to work so hard against a very promising Draga roster currently, but it is still out of time. 3 minutes, over 3 minutes left on the clock. The ball in their possession currently, Abyss, but oh yep. Well,
Hold on.
what just happened here? That quick transition just goes through, and they're now 3-0 up.
I'm not sure if there was a breakdown in communication or just individual responsibility here, but Tali was all the way up in the far corner of the red side. Could not get back in time. Maybe didn't expect that ball to come back nearly as quickly as it did, but if there's anything we know about Draga now, it's that their ability to counter rapidly is threatening. It's deadly. And it's led to a 3-goal lead with 3 minutes left to go. Situation that Abyss have not yet seen. Decent demo opens it up, maybe the 4th, but Emils just about gets back in time with 0 boost to his name though. Very little from Maskell either. They're really struggling on the boost side of the game right now, and it's leaving wide open spaces for Draga to exploit.
A lot of possession and demo plays coming up from Draga's side. A flip reset on the Beachy. Can't really get it through.
No.
RSC11 though will snake it onto the crossbar and add a 4th one for the team.
I mean, you can't call that a fake from Peach. He just doesn't get back to the ball in time, but he knows NW7 is like, okay, if he doesn't make this, I'm going to go for the shot. And what a peach of a finish it was. Top left bins, post and in. And it just seemed like the entire Abyss defense was frozen. They were fearful of what Peachy was capable of on that ball. Someone has to go up, someone has to challenge, which is made ever more difficult by the fact that they're losing the boost game right now. They have to start taking more control of those mid boosts, maybe be a bit more efficient with their usage of it. It's a great play by Tali to get that back down towards a danger area, but missed ultimately by Mills. Now Mafglu to take a shot. That one's fantastic effort, but it's not going to be on target. Tali's will be stopped, however, by NW7. Find his first save of the game. Now it's Draga's time to defend, but they may have already won this game in the first 3 minutes.
A lot of pressure coming out. That's another pass into the middle by the blue side, but luckily not capitalized. Cool, back to the middle. NW7 with a shot. Saved by Mafglu. Another pass into the middle by Cool. Is it a good enough? It is. Peachy boy. Quick to transition. It is 5-0 for Draga.
Read to perfection. Chef's kiss. Look at that. He knows exactly where he needs to be to intercept that ball just as it slides under the crossbar. Finds his brace. Finds Draga in such a nigh insurmountable lead, it feels like, for Abyss. We saw it in the first game where Draga could barely get anything on offense, and now they've got everything. They've gone a complete U-turn, and they're just getting nasty with it now. It's a great bump on the backboard, opens up some space, but W7 didn't want to dive for it. They'll leave Peachy Boy to do that work, or maybe Cool. Another demo. They're just toying with him at this point. Abyss can't even stay alive long enough to get the ball out of their own half. I can't remember the last time a blue card touched this ball. That's just how much control Draga have. They finally do manage to vent that pressure as Cool overcommitted. And it does end up with a quick counter. But 1 minute for 4 goals, Vino. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, but it is going to be encouraging for Abyss to see that a defensive mistake is possible within Draga. As long as they're able to play it out, they're able to probably tie it up, but currently it's not looking very likely within this game.
Yeah, that's probably a wake-up call for Draga. They're going to be a little bit more defensive now. There's one that's to get beaten there, but it's too slow for Tali to work with. Can't get it through the last man. That rotation from Draga has just been stellar. They managed to, well, actually, I talk about rotation being stellar. They're all in the same corner, but they still cannot capitalize. Abyss, they've thrown the chance away once again. And I don't think 30 seconds is enough time to find enough opportunities to finish, to get back into this game. It's most likely that the series is going to end up being a 1-1 through the second game. But it's been a great turnaround from Droga. We saw very little offense from them, at least offense that was effective in game 1. And this is an absolute shake-up. It doesn't seem like they know what's happened to them. They've been hit by a haymaker.
Yes, indeed. They've just been hit hard as well. They were coming out of game 1 with a 2-1 victory over in overtime, just getting stomped on by Drogar. 5-1 victory, and it is all tied up in the series score 1-1.
Now, I don't know if I maybe jinxed it for Abyss by saying, you know, Cool is coming in as the sub. He hasn't played for the team this season so far. It might not work out. The chemistry might just not be there. And we saw that in game 1. Maybe that was a warming up period for him to figure out where he needed to be in the rotation. And he has certainly found that position. He got the most saves on the team, a goal and an assist. All 3 players on Droga assisted in every stat category. And it really was a very well-rounded and constant performance, you've got to say. And Abyss now just have to be in that mentality. It was one game, it's an anomaly. They've got to fight back now. Realize they've won the first game as tight as it was, and as you can argue, you know, it's an overtime, it's a coin flip essentially at that point with the golden goal. I still think Abyss have got plenty left to say in this series. They just need to start controlling that boost game a lot better. They were doing it well enough at the start of the game, but then it just broke down continually through the rest of it, and they fell into a spiral that they just couldn't break out of.
Yeah, that's something that Drogar has been doing absolutely greatly during the second game. They were just giving them shot after shot, not giving them an opportunity nor an inch to escape their own half. Maybe at the end, but nonetheless, Abyss has a lot to work for. Straight off the kickoff, they did win it, but Cool now controlling it very good. Can't really do much other than that. PG Boy into the corner, double touch. Reed does get it by 1, but not into the middle. Emils does get the ceiling shot off to Tally. That's a shot on target as they head into the third game with a lead.
There's that long ball. Emils from the backboard to the ceiling. Cool was second best. Tally's right there to make up for the deficit. The errors that Droga have come out with at this point. Few and far between this season. 6 wins out of 6. Cool wasn't part of any of them. He's hoping desperately to be so. Prove that he's not just a sub, that he's not just a reserve. He can play just as good as the main team. And he's been doing that so far. Mafglue couldn't get a touch, neither can Emils. NW7 off the line, keeping his team in it. Once again, shades of the first game where Abyss took that lead. And then Droga were on the back foot. Still got control here. Great finish by Emils. Top right bins. And it was just a continuous breakdown there. Cool couldn't get the play away because Tally got the 50. NW7 just tried to get it away, but it's straight in the path of an oncoming Abyss player. They take that 2-goal lead, something that they have not had in this series so far.
A demo in the backlines as well opened it up, but nonetheless, I don't believe Peachy Boy would get the save if he was kept alive. Peachy Boy can't make a touch on the ball as the Tally tries to clear, can't really get it by NW7. Mafglue not able to do better. That's off to the backboard. NW7 with a shot, double commit within the defense, but it is good enough to send it away. They have the pressure now. Tally can't get the touch. Shot is just saved on the transition. Now Peachy Boy with a shot, double commit again, saved off to the corner, into the middle by NW7. Tally cuts it short. The ball over Cool, over Peachy Boy as well. 3v1 currently. Off to the middle, NW7 able to control it off to the side, trying to make a play, no boost to work with. Does get it into the corner, grabs the boost as well, looking for a teammate in the middle, doesn't see anyone, is able to put it off to the side. No one to follow it up currently, apart from himself. Cool. Again, a lot of pressure coming up from Droga. A shot finally by Peachy Boy, not good enough. Another shot though by Cool, a bit over, but now the transition by Abyss. Is it good enough? No, it just kept controlled by Drogar.
It's like game 1 all over again. Droga trying their damnedest. Not able to get anything through, and in this position, 1 goal won't be enough. Gotta get at least 2 to find that overtime once again. They're trying their best to find these outlet passes. This quick counter-offensive play that they're so proficient with. But Abyss have figured it out. Keeping that third man back. And when they don't need to risk too much, especially with the lead that they have. But with half a game left to go, I'm sure they'll be desperate to pad that lead just a little bit more. Get that extra security, that peace of mind as Mafklut is left as the third man in such an awkward place. But handles it well. They managed to get away with another onslaught, still in this red blue corner even. It's NW7 to dive on 2. Another double commit has led to space for Droga to work with. Cool to the backboard, he's not going to follow it himself, and Mills can only throw it to the midfield. Peachy Boy's got to get it past 3, can't even get it past the first, and it's flicked over. Thankfully Cool was back in time, but he again is attacked by the first man, and Abyss not afraid to go for it now.
A lot of shots being coming out from the blue side of Abyss. Peachy Boy trying to find a Cool. Is that good enough? No, a bit too wide. Nearly just goes to the net, and NW7 now going for a shot of his own. A bit too wide again. And another shot by Peachy Boy. Yet again, not finding the target. Emails now with the possession, but no boost to work with. Is able to put it into the middle. Peachy Boy cuts it short. Mafklut just able to cut Cool in the rotation as NW7 trying to find his teammate up front. Can't get it by Emails. Tally with a beautiful touch. Is it good enough? Emails tries to force it through. Gets blocked by NW7 as Luke looking for another shot into the middle. That's good enough. A double commit to make the save, but the ball is still on the red side. Luke just not getting the touch on the ball. Peachy Boy has an opportunity. Passes it to NW7. A shot bit too high, and that might have been the golden opportunity to at least close it out.
Yeah, Abyss really getting away with some rather
that's
glaring errors. It's Cool with plenty of boost. He's going to find his way through. Sinks it for 1. 40 seconds left. I mean, I doubted it in game 1. Starting to believe a little bit more. It's Abyss making a rod for their own backs. Maybe that pressure's getting to them, that feeling of, you know, we could actually take this game, give ourselves a chance to win the series. They've got to hold down the fort. Keep it tight. Control the ball a bit better. They lose the kickoff, but they manage to hold on to it for just a little bit longer. Mafklut with no boost ends up hitting it off his own backboard. It's going to be a pass down. Cool is there. A light shot to try and trick the defense, but it wasn't going to work on Mafklut. Just that little bit smarter, and it's giving them an extra chance to survive. Now 15 seconds left. Peachy to throw it back through the corner. Not enough to get it past the second man as NW7 up all alone. Maybe going for that reset. Gets the pinch off the backboard. Only pancakes it across to the corner though. And Peach is going to be beaten on the 50. It's going the wrong direction for Droga. They're not going to have enough time to get it back up the field unless they can keep this ball alive. Cool loses control. Emils is probably just going to spike it as Abyss take game 3 and take the opportunity to win this series as Droga finally have been taken down. The best they can get is a draw. Their perfect record is shattered.
Match point for Abyss now 2-1. Win one more and it is a win for them. Oh boy, it has been heartbreaking for Droga throughout this whole series.
Finally lost it. The perfect record had to happen sometime. You got to admit, it's statistically very unlikely that you go the entire season without a loss. We've seen it a few times, but it is very, very rare. And Droga are just another one in the list of teams that just couldn't quite make it. As the best they can get now is a draw in this series. But credit to Abyss. The things that we mentioned in the second game, they started to ramp up a bit more in terms of control of the ball, especially in the back line. They limited the chances that Droga had, especially on the counter. That's where they seemed to get beat quite a bit. And the boost game was so much more clean from Abyss that they allowed themselves to get the 2 goals and then just hold on to that resolutely. Despite the mistakes that they had, it was almost as though Droga didn't expect a lot of the mistakes that Abyss made and as such couldn't quite get in position to exploit that. So well done to Abyss, but I don't think this is over yet. I think this could go to a draw.
The ball currently in the hands of Abyss. Emails looking for a pass into the middle. Tally with a fake, can't get it by Peachy Boy. That was a close call for the man in red, and W7 looking for a play, gets caught up by Luke does get a demo on emails though, leaves the net open. That's going to the middle. He is there, but not good enough. A bit too high. Tally gets bumped into the ball. Cool does get a touch. That's dropping down. NW7 tries to clear. Can't do much better than that as Cool now misses the ball. So does Luke as the ball going back to the middle. Emails looking to clear, but that just puts it straight back to NW7. Tally can't do much here as Peachy Boy now looking to apply some more pressure. That's into the middle. That's open for Cool.
no!
Flick is there, but not in. Both of them had an opportunity, and both of them messed it up.
Oh, Cool was barreling down on that ball, ready to slot it home, and Peachy Boy just took it off him. Wanted the glory for himself. Golden opportunity missed for Droga. They're few and far between in game 3. You can't make those kinds of mistakes in the final game. Desperate to hold on to at least a draw. Whether or not it has affected them, losing that streak, losing that perfect record, it's arguable if Abyss managed to end up taking this game. They've shown very little. Abyss with 3 shots, Droga with 1.
Oh,
I managed to get this through the smoke screen. I couldn't see what was going on, but it doesn't really matter. Thankful for Abyss, it went way too high for any Droga player to get to, as they're often having to go backwards to deal with this threat from Abyss, pushing this ball forward, almost always in the right position, but Emils throws it away. Was low on boost, wasn't many options. As Tally himself is low on boost, trying to get this back through the midfield. Allows Peachy Boy to try and get the aerial, but he's going to beat out anyway. He managed to get back to the boost, and he does this all alone. It's that feeling. You can't see the guy in your rearview mirror. Fino, and Tally just comes sliding in to sneak that ball away and finally take the lead for Abyss.
the speed Tally just came up behind them, said hello, spooked the defense, took the ball away from them, and
Tally the terror.
transitioned it. Yeah, literally. Just terrifying. Despite the speed that they transitioned that play into a goal, but that was a close call for the Abyss boys. But another shot coming up from Tally. Is that good enough? No, PG Boy does make the save. Another attempt, but Loot now just putting it into the middle. That's a shot on target. PG Boy gets the save again. Emails could not reach it by the end. Good shot from NW7. Gets saved by Loot. Another shot by PG Boy.
No!
Oh, that bounces off the crossbar into the defense, and it is all tied up.
That's just painful. Peachy will have been for like the splittest of seconds. Oh damn it, I've hit the crossbar, it's not going in. Oh wait, it's come off of an Abyss player. And suddenly the game's tied up. Emils and Tally just sat there dumbfounded. No chance of stopping that ball. And their lead is taken away so cruelly.
Oh.
And it may have been even worse if there was managed to be a link up there between the Droga players. A big pinch forward, but it just ends up hitting NW7, so not much from it. Emils can only pancake it. It means that Tally has to pick up the slack. He himself gets attacked on the sidewall. A great play by Peachy to keep control of his ball. NW7's there, but he overcooks it. Sends it flying back towards the other side of the field. Cool, wanting to make sure that they don't get beaten once again by the lack of shooting accuracy. But Emils here, it's just back and forth. It's like a tennis match, and I know it's constant shots back and forth, and neither side able to get one through and break this deadlock.
Tally looking for a double touch, was a bit too far away, and the clear was good enough. But Mafklu now looking to make a play of his own, can't get it by Peachy Boy. A flip preset, but that's going to the middle. Tally had an opportunity, but Cool was in the way. A shot on target. Mafklu will send it away. Peachy Boy off the corner. Emails will be the one to send it away this time into the middle. Please, that's a good fake. Will it be good enough? No, not through. But a double commit might have just ruined that opportunity. Again, small touch. Peachy Boy takes his time. Tally just rushes it. Another double commit on the defense. Nearly capitalized by Emails. Nearly just sent away. A team bomb again on the offense of Abyss. As Cool finds NW7 upfield. Going for a solo play. Sends it into the middle. Peachy Boy a bit too low for the ball. Another shot by Tally, just blocked up by Cool. Emo's now looking to make a play. Any team is in the middle, tries to send it out, but NW7 was in the way. The ball now ever so slightly going back into the blue half. Nearly forced through by Peachy Boy, but the ball and the Rocket League gods were on the Abyss's side. But that's a drop down from NW7, not low enough.
That was a sitter. How has he missed that? Cool. Last chance to the backboard. Tally's going to miss, but he doesn't have the boost to do anything with it. He gets a bump, but Emil stops Peachy Boy. NW7 cannot control this ball. Tally's going to drop it down, and we end as we began, Vino. An overtime at 1-1 to decide the fate of these two teams in this series. A great kickoff in favor of Droga. Doesn't quite work out in the end, but it's still precarious, and it's going to be awkward for them to deal with this. But Abyss do keep a calm and collected composure here to get it through, and it's off the post, and Mills can't read it. They somehow don't get a shot on target. Another one to bounce off the crossbar, and lack of shooting accuracy has plagued both sides here. Will it drop down so awkwardly that Peachy can't deal with it? He does manage to get it through this corner, but it's still a Mills and Mathblue to actually mess up there. Tally's not back in time, and Droga don't actually commit to that counter-attack, which is surprising to see. Maybe they don't want to risk a loss in this series. They would just want to be certain that they're going to get a goal without risking too much. As Peachy Boy tries to do it all alone, Mathblue will be there though to deny. And a minute into this overtime, I really cannot tell you which side is going to be the one to take it, unless I've almost jinxed it.
Almost jinxed it indeed, but the shot was a bit too high. Another shot, Cool get the save. The backboard is there. NW7 a double touch off his own backboard, will send it away. Another send from Mathblue. This time around, Cool yet again to be the one to send it away. A shot a bit too wide, but finds some pressure, looking to make it a pass. Emos now with the possession. Finds Tally, but not by Peachy Boy, as Mathblue leaves it for Emos, but NW7 gets there before him. That's another brilliant block by Tally, but a shot not on target, but Mathblue will send it away nonetheless. Tally now can't get a touch. Will go back for the ball though. That's into the middle. Will someone be there? Another attempt, but Peachy Boy now with the transition. Will it be good enough? Cool applies even more pressure. Mathblue into his own corner. Tally is forced to make a touch. Not good enough though. Peachy Boy tries to send it into the middle, but Tally was in the way. Emils tries to get a clear. Cool just cuts it short. Tries to find a teammate up. Demo is good enough by Emos on Peachy Boy. That's into the corner of the red side. NW7, not a great touch. Mathblue puts it into Emos, nearly just on-goaling, as Mathblue now just scrambles back to finally relieve some pressure.
The nerves are setting in. Mistakes are coming out. Almost an own goal we saw there. Neither side can quite find that magic moment as a passing play could open up here. NW7 fakes it out. Tally reads that so well. Keeps his team in it. Keeps the opportunity of a win in this series against the only team that has not been beaten. Still back in this corner. Pressure on continuously. Emils looking for Tally. Not quite the touch that they wanted. Tally now with 10 shots in this game. Still not managed to get more than one through. It was his that opened up the scoring at the beginning of this game. Who will be the one to end it? Not NW7 for now. Is Mathblue able to deal with it? Tally with low boost opts to try and pinch it. Maybe look for Mathblue. Just left some space open, and Mills in an awkward position, can only 50 it away. Tally is there. This was a bounce shot. If that's on target, it's off the crossbar, and Cool has enough to get it away. Safety for at least one more moment. Still though, corner going through. It's there for Tally. He didn't quite expect it, but maybe getting the double as this one's trying to get through. Cannot quite barrel it past Cool, who's ended up with 4 saves so far. That's not even the most. Droga's got 6. Peachy Boy's got 6 even. It's crazy.
This overtime has been so nerve-wracking. The shot is there. Peachy Boy just not good enough. The save is there by Emos. Another ball into the middle. Cool nearly forces it through, but this overtime has been nothing but stressful for both teams here. Shot after shot, not going in. Vector, you're on the edge of your seats. I'm on the edge of your seat. The viewers at home are wondering who will it be to take it home. You're off the seat, aren't you?
I don't know what's happening anymore, Vino. All I know is that something's eventually got to give as we rapidly approach 2 full games of Rocket League. At the finale of this series, whichever side takes it will have earned it. This one's a big play through the midfield. Peachy not wanting to risk anything, stays back and waits, and he gets demoed for it. This one's crossbar again. They cannot get a shot between the sticks. As this one goes through, Peachy's gonna be the last man! As finally, they get one through the midfield, just on the cusp of 5 minutes. They get a favourable 50, and he's just not quick enough. Tali immediately leaves the game, and I can completely understand why. Going to kick himself so hard for missing that one. But it is the decider. Droga save themselves the embarrassment, the pain of a defeat, their first defeat of the season, and just about managed to scrap back to a draw. 1,100 points for Peachy Boy by the end of that game. Absolutely insane ending to it. But it will end in a draw. A 2-2. The spoils split. And what a fantastic Master Series that was, Vino. Whew, I need a break after that. We need to pause the stream and just go somewhere else for a while. That was crazy. Whew.
I'm clueless. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say after that. I'm stunned. I knew we were close, but not that close. That was insane. 5 minutes overtime. Shot just looking good to go through. Gets either saved or it was a bit too high or wide. And the shot that goes through at the end for Dragor was a shot just...
A counter.
Well, just a counter. Literally, the transition was good enough. Tali was too far back. And it's a draw between these two teams.
Crazy. That's what Droga relied upon, and you could argue what they've relied upon throughout their tenure so far this season is that ability to counter, to be able to break out rapidly and exploit their opponent's, rotational mistakes, their aggression. And just for that merest of moments, the margins, the inches in that play that Tali just couldn't quite get there in time. And I feel desperately sorry for him that he couldn't, but that is the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way that it has ended. And as fantastic as a series it was, because it was a draw, we will not be having any interviews. And I'm not sure they'll want to. They need to go and lie down for a little. They need to rest, because that was an absolutely insane series that took a lot out of us. So I would not be surprised if it took almost everything out of those players. But it was great, and a great one to come back to the booth with you for Fino. So yeah, I'm glad we had that, and I can't wait to the next time if this match is any indication of the series that we end up casting. Bloody hell, I want more.
Yeah, very, very insane evening that we've just had today. And I appreciate returning to the booth with someone like you, Vector. But other than that, do you have anything else to say before we head off into a break?
Well, go and get something to eat, because I think we've just all expended our energy there. You said you were on the edge of my seat, which I'm a bit frightful for, so...
I must have said it wrong, the game was just too intense.
Yeah, you just said it in the heat of the moment, the instinct, and it's perfectly fine, but it does mean we need to take a break before the very next series. We're not done yet. We'll be moving down to the elite tier, and we will have Mega Min Cult versus Anarchy. So if that was any indication of how this night is going, then you can expect to see even more from the elite boys later on. But yeah, that's going to be it for the Master tier and for Vino tonight. Thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to the next time. Thank you so much for everyone for watching. Be right back. Don't go anywhere, as we will have even more RSC action.
You drive me crazy, drive me loco. Cause I hate you, then I love you again. Got my feelings on display, no I can't pretend. We were more than lovers, I feel like I'm just a friend. Didn't give me your all, I gave 100%. Yeah, cause I hate you, then I love you again. Got me in my feelings, no I can't pretend. We were more than lovers, I feel like I'm just a friend. Didn't give me your all, I gave 100%. Left is deserted. Is this worth it? Cause now you love me like a stranger.
welcome back one and all for the third and final time tonight for the final league play stream of this week. And the final match coming up, we started off in the Premier tier. At the very top, a battle of the sponsors, Pantera Esports versus Shaman Esports. Shaman gave Pantera a very tough lesson to learn, and it was a tough pill to swallow as they got 4-0 swept. We then subsequently moved on to the Master tier, just a down a notch. It ended up a draw, Abyss versus Draugr, and Draugr lost their perfect record of 6 wins in 6. So records have been broken tonight, as is another. MC Main, or McMain, MC, however you want to say it, I want to say MC, is joining me for the first time, I think, together in the booth with me, and it's going to be new ground to tread, MC, but I'm looking forward to it.
It's the exact same as me. Can't wait for this game. It'll be a good game, and yeah, let's see what happens.
Certainly shall, as I already mentioned. Premier, Master, now down into Elite, 3 tiers in one night. Megamin Cult versus Anarchy. Truly a tale of 2 teams. As despite Anarchy's tenuous spot above Megamin, just 1 game win above them, they most recently suffered a sweep courtesy of the current champion-elect Anju, who also just so happened to be the exact same team that Megamin swept last week. So I'll let you do the math as to who the odds favour tonight, but I know who my money's on. And for the standouts, Megamin Cult, got Caldi, pretty good player. 30 goals in as many, fewer games, about 24 games, something like that. So crazy output already from him. But on the other side, on Anarchy, on the Symbiotes, Minty is the one that stands out for me, MC. Is there any players that look like they could be the difference makers tonight?
Like you mentioned, Minty, I've played a few 6-mans with him, I've played around with him, I've seen him around. He's a brilliant player all around. So I will be watching out for him. And I don't really know the other roster, to be honest with you. So it's new ground for me.
Well, it could be, as we do have potentially 4 former champions on the field tonight. Both, all 3 of Megamin Cult's players, main roster players, Minty, Form, and Dan have a trophy to their names. Sario is the resident sub, you can argue, with only 8 games played. And of course, Caldi himself has a trophy as well. So a very much all-star lineup tonight on the field. Whether or not that helps or hurts either side, only time will tell, as we only have 1 team in the lobby as it stands. I'm just going to have to pad a little bit more. MC Man, is there anything you'd like to talk about? Or so we just whittle off the stats?
Well, on you go, you can go along with the stats. Let's hear them.
Well, if I look at the individual player stats we already mentioned, Caldi, Minty, the ones that you could probably look out for in this series, but we've got to give it up to the other players on both sides. Anarchy, of course, have Swift Fox and Doink, both great players in their own right. Doink with 23 goals, just 7 behind the main goal scorer in Caldi, and plenty of assists to Swift Fox's name, 25. So many of those must have gone to Caldi, and that link-up play will be something that's so important to see tonight. Unless, of course, they're playing Tenebrow, Luna, who is their sub 4 games. You never know. Sometimes they just bring them in and they throw us off, and it's so annoying because I want to see the main roster players. I want to see the best of the best of these teams face each other down. But looking at the lobby, it does seem as though Tenebrow is going to be coming in. I'm not entirely sure who is replacing yet. We'll have to see as the players get into the lobby. But my personal opinion, just from what I've seen and because of what I already mentioned before, Anarchy got swept by the team that Megamin Cult swept last week. So for me, Megamin just seemed like the stronger outfit overall. And looking at this, Anarchy, or is it Megamin bringing in their substitute here? Yeah, Anarchy is bringing in their sub in Tenebrae, or Tenebrae, how you pronounce it. Looks like they're going to be the lesser side here. So I think Megamin probably take this one, maybe in a 3-1. I don't expect another sweep, as we already saw tonight, but that's my prediction.
Wins this throughout. I think we'll see a lot of passing plays with this team, and yeah, I think it will be a 4-0 sweep.
For which side?
For Colt.
Oh, Colt.
Yeah, Megamin Colt.
Well, I agree, but not necessarily it being on a sweep. I do think Anarchy have still got plenty of ability. Of course, they are above Megamin just slightly, and they started out the season quite well. They had 3 wins in their last 5 results. It's only just recently started to go on a downturn, as we saw that draw, and then most recently that sweep. So it's a struggle, but one that they have, I think, an ability to bounce back from and really start to cement their place at the top of this Elite Glacis conference. Started out relatively neutral between the two sides. It was something we expected to see as Swift and Cal D form the front line of this Anarchy side. Tenebrae, as I said, already coming in to fill that spot that Doink had. A lot of goals left out in the cold there. Hopefully he can pick up the slack.
Hopefully the sub can come in and prove why he should be playing tonight, but I'm not 100% sure if he can, to be honest with you, and I just think it'll be an all-out for Mega Mike.
It's a good passing play to open up the midfield defense of Megaman there. Didn't quite come to fruition, but you love to see it. One shot for both sides, a minute in. This one going to be awkward to deal with, and just the man that you didn't expect to do very much, McMahon, is Tenor. He opens the scoring for Anarchy in a great way to do it off the backboard. Read it better than any Megaman defender. Ends up actually hitting form, but doesn't matter. It's a goal for the Symbiote side.
And it was a brilliant play by them, and they've just came out and proved me wrong to start the game off. So
they heard you. They're listening in right now to the stream. They know exactly what they need to do to prove us wrong.
Yeah,
And probably
100%.
prove some of the doubters wrong. Megaman Cult, up to them to respond. They're on defense right now, struggling to get the ball out of their own half. Minty, good control. Has the reset as well to try and get it over another, but loses it at the final moment. Cal D and Swift very patient to wait that one out, gives them some time on the ball in the opposite side. Swift to get it past the corner, but no one else. They still maintain possession, and Cal D with so much time with the ball flicks it over one. We're going to get the demo as well. That's a beautiful way to make it two. Fantastic play from Cal D here. Does it all alone.
brilliant from Cody there. Brilliant demo to get the goal there, and a brilliant flick. Well played
That's
by him.
painful. That looked painful. I feel very
Yes.
sorry for Dan. But the result is not in doubt. 2-0 for Anarchy so far. Almost 2 minutes into this game.
Yeah. 3 minutes 17 seconds left to play. It's all to play for still. Because Swift just couldn't get over.
Stepping through the midfield, the goal scorer. Alongside Cal D, who's going to make it 3. Swift to put his name on the board as well. All set up by Tenor though. Great control in the midfield. Not accosted by anyone, not attacked by any defender, and that's left a lot of space for them to work with. A very unexpected situation we found ourselves in here. MC, both of us thought Megaman were going to be the ones coming out of the gate, ones coming off a sweep. But no, it's come the exact opposite direction, and I think they're just not understanding how to deal with this maybe new look Anarchy roster right now.
Yeah, Anarchy coming out as a stronger team, starting it off well. Can they keep it for the full series? We'll find out.
That is the goal in question. It's back through the midfield we go. They managed to get one. Oh, that was not a goal. That was not on target. That ends up being an own goal. Form will take the plaudits for it, of course. But really, you've got to say Tenor made a mistake here.
Yeah, 100%. If he just left it another second and then cleared it, might have not led to that, but here's 1-0 back. Hey, here's 1 goal back. Can they get another?
Inexperience showing.
Yeah.
Some bumps in the midfield, unintentional maybe, but it's left an awkward position for Dan to deal with this ball. That's going to get punished so easily. Val Cal D, you cannot let that man get time and space. It's such an amazing position for him. I don't know how he reads Dan's mess up here, but it's given them back that 3-goal lead. As a great pass comes out in the team chat from Dan himself. At least he knows how to laugh at himself. That's good.
Yeah, that's a good thing. But I just feel like Holt has not came out here as a better team. They are struggling, and I just don't think they're awake. Might be a bit of miscommunication in the comms or what, but that is just might not be their night.
Oh, still plenty of time left. With 2 goals on the board. Maybe we were underestimating them a bit early on. Before this, Minty and Dan were both under 100 points score. And there's pros and cons to how much score actually matters in Rocket League, but what does matter is they have managed to have that deficit, get themselves back into this game.
And there's still 2 minutes left, so everything's here to play for. So let's just hope and pray it's a good game.
counter Anarchy. Can get that 3-goal lead back, cushion it just that little bit more. Been exposed more than they hoped to. Another counter from Minty to try and dive on, but it's just not quick enough. Tene with enough to get it away. Cost him his life, but it might cost Megamin another goal as this goes through for Caldi to sink his hat-trick. Post and in, and it just seemed a little bit too simple. Swift gets a free play on the sidewall there. Dan has to clear that bet.
100%. He could have got the boom out there, but he just passes it back to him and gives him basically an open net. And that will make it 5-2, minute 30 seconds left to play for.
Megamin designers of their own downfall right now as Form managed to get a demo. I believe that was on Tenebrow. Not Tenebrow, it was on Caldi, but it doesn't matter. You don't have the ball. Swift does, and he's picked up his brace to make it now 4 goals in the lead for Anarchy. And it has just become a hole that I think is too high for Megamin to climb out of.
It's possible in Rocket League at the end of the day. It is a game. It still could be possible, but you never know. If they continue to play like this, then I don't think it will be possible for them to come back in this game.
It's a tale that we've seen a few times tonight where teams have just lost it. Lost the entire game in the first 2-3 minutes because they just let their opponents run away with it. But Anarchy have been on it from minute 0, constantly pressuring, constantly giving Megamin something to think about, and 6 goals is their reward. Caldi with an MVP performance, no doubt about it. 30 goals before this series began, added 3 more to that tally. I expect to see a lot more before the end of this series. A great passing opportunity between Form and Dan there, but it ends up just being hinched away wide of the post. Once again, it's back in the wrong half of the field. 4 and 30 seconds left to go. It's all but over in game 1.
Yeah, I think it's all over now, to be honest. I don't think they can come back, but I think it's just time to move on to the next game. I'm not going to lie to you, and let's hope that they'll be hoping that they wake up and smell the grass and see if they can actually do something next game.
Yeah, and I hope that it's not continuing to burn is probably the feeling in the Megamin camp. They did well enough to get 2 goals, but as I mentioned before, just losing the game very early on, letting your opponent run away with it. You've got to keep it close. You've got to keep control of the ball, the midfield, most especially. We saw it quite a bit, where they just kind of threw away the ball. They had bad touches. I mean, the big one from Dan especially, but that's a slight anomaly. That's one that you can't really account for in the overall performance. And I think Megamin can do better. But Anarchy have really come hard out the gates here, and I can't wait to see what they're capable of doing throughout the rest of the series.
Yeah, and I believe this is a sub filling in for Dan.
Interesting. The main roster of Megamin Cult didn't work, so they're bringing in Sario. Only 8 games played this season, and maybe he is that magic piece to slot everything into place. If I can get my words right.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. Let's see if he can come and improve this roster, or if it's just going to go bad from here. We never know.
Fantastic performance. Captain Clutch is his title, which, yeah, pretty much. Fantastic hat-trick in that game. He earned it as well. It wasn't just given.
Yep.
But the whole team contributed. Doesn't happen. 6 goals doesn't happen without the whole team contributing.
Oh,
really.
yeah, 100%.
We must move on to Forbidden Temple.
Let's just see.
Colt fighting back. Good kick off to start. Swift is in an awkward position, but managed to deal with it. Sario's right there. That could have been the start. It could have been the night of the subs. MC. That could have been a great way for them to get back into it, but not quite enough. They're left to defend now.
Subs are coming up as better. Blues here. They've started off well, so let's just hope. There's a demo.
He's trying his best. Oh, his teammate was demoed. He had to go solo. Now it's Tenor to rip back into the rotation. Tries to get a pre-flip there. It doesn't quite work. It's past the midfield line. Swift has to wait for Minty's touch here. He's going to get beaten. Good patience to wait that one out. Some say it might be risky. Just giving them that space, but it worked out for them here. And another minute in, only a single shot for Anarchy, none for Megaman. Been pinned back again.
Yeah. They've just got the pressure on Minty, and Minty hasn't been able to do anything on the ball because they're shutting him down so well. I just feel like they're not coming out how they should be.
Anarchy certainly are, as once again the quote-unquote substitute for this symbiote side, Tenebra. Great finish there.
Yeah.
Back post, Sario, no chance. The battle of the subs at that point. We know who came out on top. Opened the scoring for his team twice.
And he's coming out proving that he shouldn't be as a sub. I think he should be on this main roster.
That's a
And
bold statement to make.
with how he's playing, it's just the truth.
See him get beaten there on the 50 still. Looks out in Anarchy's favour. Minty to collect it in the midfield, but he can't supposed to do much more. Bounces awkwardly and he can't control it. Form to his own backboard. A big miss. Tenner's right there. He didn't expect it. Can only put it on the backboard himself. A double commit. Spiraling. Red arrows from the Mega Man cult. They're scrambling on defense here and it's looking worse and worse. Sario just about in the right position to deny Swift getting another goal in this game. They really are struggling. They can't get out of their own half.
Yeah. And they just need to try and, let's just say, wake up, because how they've been playing tonight just won't be good enough if they want to win. They're just getting dominated in every position, from the defence to the midfield to the attack. They're not even getting shots off at this point. And could all be over already.
Small great passing from Anarchy doesn't end up in a goal though. It's still just the one. Still a chance for Mega Man. We got 2 in the first game and really the main problem was not being able to limit Anarchy. As Cal D can't quite open his account in game 2, post and out. I find that unfortunate. Gotta say, you need to do a little bit better as Tenebrow's left as the last man, perfectly capable of dealing with it. Sario to keep up the pressure, that's exactly what they need. Double commit from Anarchy, but Swift's able to get it far enough away that it's not much of a threat. Sario again, shot opportunity wide. Just not able to get anything even near the net. They don't have a single shot in 3-4 minutes of gameplay. It's great.
Yeah. I just feel like in this game it's like one team coming out dominating while the others sitting back and just trying to defend for their lives. That's how it feels.
Seems like in defending Anarchy's offensive onslaught, they've had to sacrifice going forward. Finally they get one on target. He cut through in the rotation there, Minty, but it still wasn't enough. The defender was right in position to stop it. Looks like they knew it was coming. He gets a lot of space here to work with. Gets the reset. He's going to be out 10. No, he managed to get the touch. That would have been beautiful to see. I think a musty was coming out as another one finds its way hurtling towards the backboard. Form's still not got enough to do that. Get it through the last man. Sario tries again. They just keep getting met, and they're losing in so many 1v1 situations.
Yeah. And it's just, they're just getting outbeat. And it's like, don't even know how to explain this gameplay. It's one team attacking, one team defending, like I said. And it's like, they're coming out a bit stronger now, but they've got 30.
Oh.
There we are. There's Form.
Never speak
Here
too
in it.
soon. You said it yourself. It's a game. Anything can happen. Anything is possible if you're willing to put the effort in. Phenomenal finish by Form. Read that off the backboard quicker than any Anarchy player. And they equalize with 30 seconds left to go. Tense finish on Forbidden Temple. Another one to the backboard, Form. Caldi looking for each other still in this corner. Swift is right there on the edge of the box. He's going to look for it. Form wasn't quite ready, neither was Swift, so thankfully they get it away in time to try to keep up the momentum. Tenner's pushing it towards his own net. Scary times. He's managed to get it through, and a great shot by Swift. Minty is right there. Last chance for either side to get a shot on target. It's kept alive by Form. Opts to go for the reset. That's dangerous because it allows Swift to keep control of the ball. He's going to flick it wildly though, and it that will eventually die just on the midfield line. Overtime in game 2. Very weird kickoff.
And yeah, they're coming out much stronger now, and it's like they've woke up and they've actually seen what they have to do. They're reading the play much better, and I think they can come out and win this game.
It seemed like they were fearful in game 1 of what Anarchy could pull out of the bag, even without the main roster. Game 2, they've looked a lot less scared. Still been spending just as much time on defense, but managed to keep it to 1, and now they've given themselves a chance. A great reset from Minty. He doesn't quite use it as well as he'd liked. He caught the defenders looking. I would have gone through had he made contact. Anarchy get away with another.
Here we go with Tenny. Is it Tenny? Tennis? I have no clue.
Full name's like Tenebrow, something like that. But he calls himself Tenny. In short, as we're talking about how to name a player, we see him get an assist. Swift, right through the middle to take this OT. Form jumping, desperate to get any sort of touch on that ball, but it does not matter. Anarchy seemed to be unstoppable, even in an overtime. And there was slightest of chances for Mega Man to take it. They couldn't quite clinch it. And I think the shot stats tell you what you need to know. 8 shots to 4, double the output, double the amount of goals, and 2 wins on the board. Mega Man can only get a draw from this series. It's a far cry from their ability in the last game, getting a sweep. The exact opposite for Anarchy, getting swept. And they've really flipped the tables on their opponent.
Yeah, I was expecting a bit more from Colt. They've played well in recent weeks, and just this week it just ain't their day. I think it's a bad day in the end, and it's just not coming out to be for them.
Hot and cold.
But yeah, so it will be interesting for the next match. It started at the end of that match. It was a well and truly good half of Rocket League, but at the end of the day, Anarchy comes out as a better team in that game, and we'll find out what happens in the next.
Yeah, especially for Form and Minty. The confidence was growing at the end. The aerials, when they get given that space, when they have the boost to work with, they clearly know what to do with the ball. The execution wasn't quite there. But you'd like to see the upturn from them. As you said, they needed to wake up. I felt like that's exactly what they needed to do. Unfortunately, it's happened a little too late for them to get anything more than a draw from this series. They will know, of course, every game it matters. Before this series began, they were just 1 game behind Anarchy. Now they're 3, so if we get 2 more games back, they can keep things close in the table. Make their opponents above them sweat just that little bit more. I think they have a chance to, but it's Anarchy just continuously on the front foot as Tenor wanted to open the scoring account once again, denied by the woodwork this time. Fortunate to see they don't manage to get one through.
Yeah, and they've came out as the stronger team again, but it's only the first 30 seconds in, 40 seconds in. It could go either way still, so I'm really interested in this match now.
Something that intrigued me was bringing in Sario, perhaps down benched himself. Felt like his performance wasn't quite enough in game 1. You have to argue it was a good sub since they kept it way closer in the second game. Sario maybe just feeling that a little bit more ready for this. He gets a shot away, but Caldi, right place, right time. Denied the opener for Mega Man.
Yeah.
He's going to go all the way up the field on his own with the air triple, but Minty's there.
I don't know if it came from Form or Dan the sub, but it was the right choice at the end of the day. And he just proven that he should have been starting this game at the start. And if he did, then it might have been different, this output. But we'll never know.
We shall never know. All that can happen is Tenebra open the scoring once again. 3-4-3. Substitute on Anarchy. Say it again. This guy's opened the scoring for his side 3 times on the bounce. And it's been the reason that they've had such success going forward. He reads those passing lanes. He knows exactly when to shoot, when the net is wide open. It's been such a boon for the boys in red. He's Caldi's been
Tenny.
supplementing the play.
Yeah, Tenny's just proven once again why he should be on this roster as a main player. Instead of sitting out, being a sub. And I think he's proven it game in, game out that he should be.
I'm sure Doik has something to say about that. He has 23 goals to back up his ability. But maybe it is just that Anarchy have 4 brilliant players.
Maybe.
They could get a sweep in this series. Still got to get 2 games through to do it. They're on the right track. The lead and half a game left to go. Megan and Colt with barely anything to show for it. Of course, they have the exact same amount of shots as Anarchy. Both sides have got 4, but the threat has mostly come from the red side as Caldi with a chance here off Tenner's demo from the Mega Man player. This one bounces so awkwardly for everybody to deal with, and Minty wasn't quite ready for it. Couldn't get the ball through to the net when it was wide open. Got the pressure, but they cannot find the follow-up. Form is there. Just going to hit it off the backboard again. Minty has to capitalize on this. Sends it to the backboard again. Maybe looking for the double tap. Maybe overcooking it. Just making it too complicated there. It might drop fortunately, though. What just happened? I mean, come on. Back through the corner. Double commit. Bump there. Great 50, but Sario just lands in the perfect position to cherry pick this one.
Yeah.
And it is the night of the subs, it seems. A tie game once again.
100%, yeah. And I think that was just pure luck there. But at the end of the day, it's Rocket League. Every goal counts, no matter how you win. That's the main thing. So it's 1-1 now with a minute 47 left to play.
Oh,
There's
no
another
luck in that.
form.
This was all form, every bit of it. Sends it off the sidewall. Caldi, you've got to argue, could get to that one. And it explains why no one from Anarchy went up to deal with Form's aerial here, but they'll be happy to take it. Top right bins. Mega Man finally have the lead they were looking for. Desperate to take the reins of the series.
I believe this is the first time in this series that they've actually been in the lead. So
As far
let's see
as
if they
I'm
can
aware,
keep it. Let's see if they can keep the lead and win this game.
Touch wood. Exactly what Mega Man and fans of Mega Man will be doing. This one goes soaring back into Anarchy's possession. Caldi to pick it up, beat the first man, but lose out to the second. Minty's maybe just thrown this one away, but he's managed to get back to it himself. And Form's in the corner waiting for it. The teammates demoed out though, so it's just a 2v2. They lose all that pressure. Thankfully, he spawned in the right side to get a free shot away. Caldi is there. I don't know if Minty was trying to pre-jump that save, but he almost made contact with it. Crazy interceptions. Caldi knows that he has to hunt down Minty here, but he's patient, waits for the player to go past him. And now they just have to play out the clock here, or maybe just score more. Form. Don't listen to me. Go for those crazy plays. Love to see it.
Yeah. And this game they've came out much better and they've actually woke up and seen what they have to do. And they're coming out trying to win this now. And I feel like it will end in a 2-2 draw for the series.
Still time to tell. Got the 4th game left to go. This one's not even over yet. 30 seconds and Anarchy have been on a scoring tear so far in the series. Great pass, but they couldn't quite link up. Swift was there for it. Tenner trying to double his bag here to try and get that brace as Caldi can only take this off the ceiling. Swift is there! Equalizer! With 15 seconds left to go. Never count your chickens before they hatch, MC.
Yeah. Prove wrong and wrong again. I think this whole
Maybe
stream I've
another
been wrong.
overtime. Maybe. See how this kickoff goes.
Yeah, I'm just getting proven wrong, and wrong again. It's just not going my way that tonight. All
It's
my
the life of the
predictions have
caster,
been.
mate.
Yeah.
Just gotta take it on the chin. As whoever loses this game will have to do. Will it be in an overtime? Yes, it will. 2 on the bounce. Have to argue it favors Mega Man. Of course, they've thrown away that lead. Couldn't quite hold on to it as you wanted them to do. Oh my goodness, Form looking for something ridiculous. Takes it down to the ground for the pinch, but way wide of the target. Really gave Anarchy a moment to think about though.
Yeah. Double save from Tenny, whatever. This game's all in out. Could go either way here. And here's a pass. Just unlucky.
Swift was hunting down the last man there, knew he couldn't get to the ball, so he went for the man. Minty only passes it to Caldi. Swift is in position. Quite swift enough to get the shot on target, however. Minty desperately chucking it away. Upfield, anywhere but near the blue net. Sario left to deal with this one. Enough boost and a great 50 to get it away. Venting that pressure. Minty to chase it down. Swift is patient. Composed, and it could be Sario to end it all, but Tenny dives on him. Again, 2 substitutes coming in clutch. His form has time and space. We know what he's capable of with this ball. He backflips instead of front flips. Got the reset. And that confidence, you just love to see it, but they're not capitalizing on it.
Yeah. And I just feel like they're coming out now and they're trying the hardest, but will it be enough?
Pass across, oh, just too high. Will Swift be there? No, Tenny's there for the shot. Swift was in position, but Minty gets it away. Horn once again to try and clear it out. It's not going to be the first of this ball. He still gets the 50 win. Swift is right there. Caldi's waiting on the corner. Perched. Ready to dive on it. Tenny looks for something crazy off the ceiling himself. That would have been beautiful to see if he'd have pulled it off.
Yeah, and I have no idea who's going to win this game. I'm not going to lie to you. This back to back. No clue who's winning this.
Oh, it could be Mega Man, but it's denied on the line. Happens so often, the caster curse. Oh, I don't know who's going to win this. Suddenly there's a goal, but not this time around. He's still going to have to fight for more. Minty to the backboard. Easily taken away to the sidewall, but it's not going to be a replay to it first. Does win the 50. Swift is right there, but he cannot find the ball. A double commit. Doesn't quite hurt them just yet. Minty with a nice catch, but he has to go for that boost, waste a little bit more time. He's got the space, got the reset. Gonna fake underneath, gets it through! Oh my goodness, Minty! Goal of the season contender. I am not even kidding. That was absolutely beautiful. Fakes it under, catches 2 players out, but still has to work it through. Bashes out 2 defenders, wins 2 50s to get it in. And Mega Min Cult, that, oh my goodness, Minty. Come on, man. What are you doing? You're showing up the rest of us.
What a goal.
If that's not on clip of the week, then it's rigged. That's completely wrong. That was insane.
That has to be clip of the week, no matter, no doubt.
What a way to fight back.
Where did that come from?
It's just Minty with time and space. We said it in the last game on Forbidden Temple. You give them that momentum and they will run with it. They had the confidence to go for it. It just wasn't quite working. It did there. Minty just 1v3'd to win an overtime in the 3rd game of a series that they're losing. If that isn't enough of a rallying call, a war cry from Minty to G up his players and be like, "Come on, lads, I don't want to carry this team too hard," then I don't know what will be. This final game will really test both these teams' mettle. But I'm so glad to have seen an overtime from both sides. Anarchy with the chance to win it, but it could be just narrowly slipping out of their fingers, clutching at defeat from the jaws of victory, or at least clutching a draw from the jaws of victory, as Anarchy cannot lose this series, but Mega Man still can, and I don't think they're going to be able to rely on another moment of magic from Minty. They need to work better as a team.
Yeah, 100%. It's time for the chemistry to come out from both teams. Time to get the passing plays going and break the teams down and score goals. More goals, you win.
That is the basic principle. That's what it all comes down to. When you strip away the fat, score goals, you win. Simple as. It's not quite that simple in practice.
Sadly
Had
not.
2 overtimes on the bounce. I'd love to see a 3rd. We'll prove just how close these 2 teams are. They were right next to each other in the table. It makes sense. Stats can't tell you everything. They're intangibles. That finish from Minty was extremely intangible.
Yes.
It was the way back into this series, and this could be another from Sario, but he doesn't quite get that where he was going for. I think he just fluffs his lines there, not expecting the chance to come through. But a big one missed first minute into this 4th game.
Yeah, 100%. If he scored that, then they would have had more. What's the word for it now? Can't remember what I was going to say. They would have had more confidence. Yes, that's the word. Confidence going forward into this game. And yeah, so
To be fair
Just
to Mega
unlucky.
Man, they seem to be overflowing with confidence, as we saw in Game 2, despite being demolished 6-2 in Game 1. They didn't seem to shy away from those high-flying, high-risk, mechanical aerial plays. It's exactly what you need to beat a team like Anarchy that is so resolute in defense. It keeps those passing lanes and the rotations tight so that you can't play through them, you can't dribble around them. You gotta go over the top. That's what Minty and Form been able to do. Wasn't quite enough to win them Game 2, but they took Game 3. Will it be the same story in the fourth and final? We've already seen a draw tonight. Morris Guy wincing at the word. We could see another. But not right now. It's Cal D to open the scoring. Not this time, Tenny. Not this time. Actually an own goal. I'm not sure if that was on target, but Sario made sure of it. Got 2 saves to his name, but will be the villain in this scenario. Anarchy take the lead.
his Form was spaceful, and you know what he can do.
Enough boost. I'm sure that all the players on Anarchy are quicker in their boots though. Every time they see Form or Minty get up in the sky. Can't give him space. Caldi and Swift really taking that to heart. Demoing out 2 players. It's left a bit of space for the counter. Form is there. Shot on target. Splits it through the 2 defenders. Fantastic finish. Once again, they find a way through, and exactly what you were asking for, the passing play. They find each other. They find the back of the net.
And that's all they have to do to break them down, and it just proved it there. They 2 have the chemistry to do it, and they've just proved it there, so hopefully they do more.
About 10 seconds before that play, two of those players were dead. Saria was dead, I think Form was dead. But that's the beautiful thing about dying, is that you get 33 boost on respawn. You get just that extra chance to go on the counter. If you can find that gap in the rotation, maybe you can make something out of it. They're going to try to do so again here. Form was ahead of the play, looking for disruption, but didn't quite work. Swift to find his first save. Keep this one tight. Form again up in the sky, looking for the double, but Tenny does phenomenally well. Just get that little touch on it, make sure he can't find the ball as easily as he wanted to. But really, it feels like Mega Man have took control of this game now, of this series. And they're showing no fear.
Yeah, 100%. And they're coming out, they've actually came out after the second game and showed them why they're one of the top teams in this conference, and they're proving it game after game now. This game and last game. If they were a bit weak in first and second game, then maybe they could have came out and won this. But
What ifs, maybes,
yeah, what if
all
maybe
things that we just can't know. And
technically.
it's stuff that gets left behind. You've got to forget about it. So what's done is done. What it can affect is the future, and Mega Man did take that to heart. Winning Game 3. Nice cherry picker attempt from Cal D, but it didn't quite work in their favour. Now Minty on the front foot with a little bit of boost. Swift is on the backboard. He managed to get the touch, but it's straight to a waiting Form. Swift gets back in time to deal with it. What was that, Tenor? I think it was Tenor coming back just in time. And they get away with another onslaught, but as we stare down the barrel of a 3rd consecutive overtime MC, I mean, Viner was on the edge of my seat last series, and I'm on the edge of my seat now, and Swift just pushed me off it completely. I'm gone. Anarchy get another goal from just onslaught, constant aggression. Swift right through the midfield off of Caldi's 50. 35 seconds left to go. Anarchy looking at a win.
Yeah, and it's let's just see what Colt can do, because right now they need the point here.
Ooh.
They really need this game.
Whew. What a save, Form. Keep it a minute.
Yeah, and they
Another
need this
chance.
game to draw, and it's like keep it close in the conference, and it just looks like they're not going to get it.
Never know. Never ever know. Form. Great 50 to keep it in the red half. Tenny's going to beat him on the aerial. Sario's right there. Has to beat them all. Minty, last man forward. 3 seconds left. Going out for the boost. Keldy has nothing. He's just going to fake it out instead. Oh, was such a mind game to make it think he had a touch. But that will end it. Anarchy leave the ball to die and leave Megamin on that hill as they take game 4 and the series 3-1. Kind of a anticlimactic end, to be completely honest. I definitely wanted another overtime there, but they ended up taking it. Anarchy in another similar fashion. I mean, it was 2-1 at the end of game 2, but they didn't even need an overtime this time around. And as I said at the beginning of game 4, I thought, you know, that one moment of magic wasn't going to be enough. Megaman needed more. They needed to get more team play, and they did once. Wasn't enough. Yeah. Anarchy just had that extra edge, and I want to say deserved, but this was very, very close. You mentioned it multiple times. If it was a different Megaman, if it was possibly Sario starting this series, we could have been looking at a very different series score.
100%, yeah, like I said it before, I'll say it again. They've just came out and proved why subs are really clinical. Like, you might be a sub player, but it doesn't mean you are the worst on the roster. And they've just proven that there.
Yeah, without doubt. It's to be honest, it's the position that, you know, teams should rely on the most. It's the substitute coming in that needs to be the most reliable, that needs to be the most ready at all times. It has to be the most practiced, because it is the emergency, bringing them in if one of your main players isn't quite feeling it, if the chemistry isn't quite there. And that's something that both players did, Sario and Tenor, but it ended up being Tenor to score 3 times on the bounce for Anarchy to open their scoring. And it would have been a beautiful story for him to finish it as well, but it ended up being Swift to take that final blow. And a 3-1 victory for Anarchy over Megamin Cult. Hard done by, I think they'll feel, but it was a great series either way. 2 brilliant overtimes for us to get our teeth into there, MC, and it was a pleasure to cast alongside you for it.
Yeah, you too. Been a brilliant cast. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, mate. It's a great thing to be in the RSC, to see these games, to see this Rocket League, because it just gets better and better. And we've had all 3 possible results tonight. We saw a sweep, we've seen a draw, and we've seen a 3-1. Just perfectly balanced, as all things should be. And yeah, I can't wait till the next time. But that will do it for tonight. That will do it for the RSC as a whole this week, as this is the final league play, I believe, and unless there's some event on, maybe on the weekend. Don't ask me. I don't know things anymore.
There's meant to be an event on right now, but it got cancelled due to the stream.
Yeah, they couldn't stream both. Yeah. We took priority because we're just better.
Yes.
We're just better. It's better Rocket League over here, as you could clearly see from that. We had a lot of overtimes tonight, so yeah, I hope everyone's had fun at home. I hope yourself has had fun, MC, and of course in the background, the man that makes it all happen, Morris Guy, wanted a perfect stream tonight, and I think it's gone pretty well, all things considered, and I'm glad that it has for his sake and for everyone watching at home. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us. Make sure to follow all our socials on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all those places for more RSC action. Thank you to all our sponsors that make all of this possible. And keep your eyes out for a big announcement. I believe it's tomorrow or Sunday. It's one of the two, but it's coming this weekend. It is something very, very big in the pipeline you've all been hearing about, and it is right on the tip of our tongues, ready to tell you. We can't wait to do so. Yeah, we hope you've enjoyed it all. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your evening. Thank you so much to everyone, and good night.
still be second best. I've been waiting days to see.
Motherfucking DJs don't scratch on these rap records no more.
Cause I can't scratch.
Rock.